when we're laying on our deathbed, you're not going to worry about how much money you had, how much power you had, how much prestige. You're going to see that that was all game, that that was all an illusion. The only thing that's going to matter is the impact you had on other people's lives.
We are all on a separate journey. But the beautiful thing about our life here on this earth is at my funeral, they ain't going to talk about my success. They're going to talk about who Nick was and how Nick lived and how Nick loved and encouraged.
Success is incredibly important, but even more important than success, it's having an impact. It's knowing you haven't walked the planet in vain. It's knowing that because you've been here, you've blessed lives, you've developed people, and you have made the world a better place.
The effect you have on others is the most valuable currency there is. Everything you gain in life will rot and fall apart, and all that will be left of you is what was in your heart.
Life is a mirror, and life gives us not what we want. Life gives us who we are. When you were born, you cried while the world rejoiced. Live your life in such a way that when you die, the world cries while you rejoice.
Sometimes you need to get knocked down before you can really figure out what your fight is and how you need to fight it. Sometimes you need to feel the pain and sting of defeat to activate the real passion and purpose that God predestined inside of you. God says in Jeremiah, I know the plans I have for you. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Hear me well on this day when you have reached the hilltop and you are deciding on next jobs, next steps, careers, further education. You would rather find purpose than a job or a career. Purpose crosses disciplines. Purpose is an essential element of you. It is the reason you are on the planet at this particular time in history. Your very existence is wrapped up in the things you are here to fulfill. Whatever you choose for a career path, remember the struggles along the way are only meant to shape you for your purpose. When God has something for you, it doesn't matter who stands against it. If it's meant for you, God will move someone that's holding you back away from a door and put someone there who will open it for you. I don't know what your future is, but if you're willing to take the harder way, the more complicated one, the one with more failures at first than successes, the one that has ultimately proven to have more meaning, more victory, more glory, then you will not regret it. Press on with pride and press on with purpose and appreciate what God has brought you through.
Two, three, I was born by the river in a little tent, and oh, just like the river I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. It's been too hard to live it, but I'm afraid to die, 'cause who knows what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming. I know, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. And then I go to my brother, and I say, brother, help me please. And he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. Whoa, there been times that I thought, whoa, I would last too long, but now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. Oh, yes it will. It's gonna change. It's gonna change. Oh, yes it will.
Football might be over for this season, but basketball is in full steam for both pro and college hoops. Hey, everybody, it's your boy Lloyd Spence, and from all the latest odds, totals, player performance props, to where the next fired coach is going to land, BetOnline is the number one spot for all your sports betting needs. So head over to the website to use your mobile devices to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, to get started. And it's not just basketball. BetOnline is your source for hockey, boxing, and UFC odds right to the Olympic coverage. It's the best in the business, from sports right down to your favorite Vegas casino games. BetOnline is your number one online wagering destination. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports and play your favorite games. So head on over there to BetOnline because it's where the game starts.
Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Can I make you move now? Yes, I can. So you can get this move in a bag of a can. Put the make it round the world and the holes in your hand. Popcorn World. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. I said popcorn make you smile. Ah. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. It's a popcorn world. It's a popcorn world. Welcome to Talkin NOIZ, the daily podcast that brings you up to speed and keeps you informed about real issues affecting real people. With your host, Mr. Talkin NOIZ himself, Lloyd Spence. His beautiful wife, Mrs. NOIZ, Kenyatta Spence. The ever-informed Brother NOIZ, Alan Brown. And yours cordially, Uncle NOIZ, Shake Anderson. Come on in and join us as we reveal and opine today's most pressing issues. Real truth while having real fun. Talkin NOIZ is in your house right now. So sit back and enjoy Talkin NOIZ.
Come on.
We got a special guest today. Making a way with your dad. It's our Soror. And she looking good. Good time. I hope y'all is ready. Babe, we lucky we got them. Yeah. You can bring your kids this time.
Uh-oh. Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
It's more than that, though. It's really more than that. It's actually Women Wednesday, and we have a very special guest, and I want to make her feel at home. We want to make her feel at home. So I'm going to enter. Normally, we do call to worship after we get the screen, but this time we're going to do it different because this is a special guest, and we're going to be in our lane. So let me get the music right here. Okay, here we go. Yes. We're so glad to be here with you today. We got a very special person joining us this morning. Sister Lori Diaz is joining the program. Give her your hearty amen.
Girl.
There we go. We like to bring in people, the right way. We don't just,
Oh my gosh.
Thank you for the production for hooking that up. That was awesome. Sister Lori, how you doing?
Hey. Hi. How
Okay,
are
let me just say this from the start. Okay. You're in Ohio, right? You're in Ohio. This is Ohio State's finest right here, ladies and gentlemen. Right here in your face. Columbus, Ohio, in your face, right? Here's what we're gonna do. Because I'm gonna solo you out. Because the picture we put, I need y'all to see all this beautifulness right here. Y'all need to I feel like I picked the wrong picture. I don't know. Listen, I'm sorry, Sister Lori. And I apologize to Mr. Diaz. Lori got it going on.
Okay, because she's finer.
Is that what it is? Is that what it is?
All day.
I think it is when you say it is. Come on.
I mean, that's what we do.
Oh my God, I love it. First of all, welcome to the program, Talkin NOIZ Daily Podcast. Shout out to all the noise makers tuning in far and wide. I see y'all pulling up. Listen, we love each and every one of y'all. Man, it's good to have the people around us today to enjoy this show. This is a hard topic.
Yes.
It's a hard topic for some people to deal with. But as I have recently and unfortunately discovered over the past 3 years total, since the pandemic started, actually, this is a topic that we're not talking about enough.
Right. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, this is a topic we're not talking about enough. So, first of all, I got to ask the question that's the elephant in the room. Lori, how in the world did you end up?
I knew it. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
Only because you have a bachelor's in communication and project management and business, and you have an MBA. And so I'm just saying, all that don't really speak funeral to me. Like
no, it don't to me either. I know.
So how did you end up in the funeral game?
It is absolutely not trying to be funny. It really is a calling because that funeral service was not on my radar at all. I actually was working at the government. I had a federal government job. I was a GS-11. So just funeral service was not on my radar, but it had always, while I was working on my master's degree, I took a class in small business entrepreneurship. And as a joke, I researched funeral home because it was on the list, and I was just trying to get a grade. I ended up getting a grade, and the professor said, Lori, this is the best business plan that I've seen for a funeral home. When you open yours, let me know. I didn't think anything about it. I just kept going through life, but life just had little things along the way that just kept pointing me to funeral service. And finally, when I left DSCC, I just called this funeral home just on a whim, just to say, hey, can I serve my apprenticeship there? I think I want to check this out. And the guy said the day before I called, we had just prayed for an apprentice. So it just kind of connected. It just
okay.
And then I worked at several other ones in the city. And then I just launched out and opened my own. We opened in December of 2017.
That is awesome. Shout out to Michael Diaz. Either
Hey,
he is
babe.
extremely, I was gonna say either he is extremely flirtatious or he's your husband. I don't know what.
He's my husband.
Okay, all right. I was like, bro, you are wild out here. You just
right there. 23 years.
shoot your shot, but he's already.
He said, let's be clear. She is well taken care of.
He flexed a little bit. I saw that. I seen the flex in there.
I cannot.
So I don't even have to ask you how your Valentine's Day went. Michael took care of that.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Always.
Shout out to you, bro. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so you got in there in 2017, and what's it been like? Because that's a very, I don't say dramatic or drastic, but that's a shift, right? And you go from like not dealing with dead bodies to dealing with dead bodies. So what is that shift like to do that?
So for me, people ask this all the time. I've never been fearful or scary at the funeral home or weirded out or anything. It just, for me, it's really not the dead bodies. It's really dealing with the families.
So for me, it's the dead bodies.
Yes. For me, it's really always dealing with the families and the outcome of them being able to say goodbye. And so for me, I don't really focus on that. I mean, of course, that's the day-to-day action of it.
Sure.
I came in today and we were just talking, and one of my staff members said, make sure you put the tell me what kind of lipstick you want me to put on the person. And we just had a casual conversation, and she was looking like, and I said, well, this is a funeral home. That's a normal conversation. What people are going to wear, what you're going to do. It's office talk. So for me, I think the shift really wasn't as weird. I think for me, the shift was the ownership part was different, because working for someone and then being your own boss and then kind of learning the funeral industry isn't an industry where they really want to share things and kind of teach the next generation. It's very close to you. You're either a family member who's going to pass it down to another family member, or you just happen to work there and you manage someone else's funeral home. And so it's not too many people who actually will take you by the mentor you to say, I'm mentoring you so that you can open your own. Even though you work for me, I want you to open your own. It's not like that. It's very competitive.
Wow.
It's very cutthroat.
I would have thought that there were enough people dying for everybody. Like, you don't have to really fight for that market. I mean, in some instances, yes, you would think that. That's not my mentality to kind of be fighting for. People are coming to me, they're gonna come to me. That's my philosophy. But it's really kind of, it's different. The funeral industry is really different. To be so noble, sometimes people don't see the back end of it, and the back end sometimes is not always. It's not glamorous sometimes. Not glamorous. Wow.
They see us driving in the Cadillac and the limo and the Sprinter, but they don't see the families in the back that don't have the money to pay for it, and that we've had to sacrifice to kind of say, we really want them to be able to say goodbye to their loved one, but because they didn't take proper planning, which is important for this show, we have to kind of, they think that we have it going on, which some of us do, but it's not what people, it's a lot of hard work. It really is.
Wow.
What is it that is the first thing that people should know about when they have a loved one pass away? What is the first thing that they should do in regards to the funeral home?
I think the first thing that they need to do or know is I think you should kind of know where you're going, because I think a lot of times people don't even know what funeral homes are in their city, what their work is like, what their reputation is like. if you know how they treat their families. I think you should kind of almost know that, so that if we all know we're going to pass, so we should have shared with our families, I like so and so funeral home, or if they're still open, I want to use such and such, just to kind of have that knowledge. I think the second thing that we need to do is we don't talk about what we want our wishes to be. So I hope that you have shared with Mr. Noise. I hope you told him what it is that you want.
Right.
I hope that you have even shared with your sorors. I want the Zeta service, or I don't want the Zeta service.
Right.
Don't just having that conversation. I want to be buried. I want to be cremated. I want to be sprinkled in the ocean.
Let me tell you, I should be grateful, but I have not witnessed a Zeta funeral. However, the only one I've ever seen was when I saw Aretha Franklin.
Wow.
When she passed away, and they did she was a Delta, and they did a Delta ceremony.
Wow.
I was like, wow.
Listen, the Zeta one will wipe you out. I have been to them all. The Zeta one is intense, and you will be laid out afterwards, because they do the roll call. They do the roll call, and they don't call your name on the roll call. It's silent.
Oh my Lord, have mercy.
Honey,
wow.
wiped me out. I told my husband afterwards, I'm like, I don't know about that one, because it's intense.
I'm gonna tell you,
it's a beautiful honor, but when they say to take your name off the roll and put it on the roll, it's like
Now this is something serious, because just by Greeks alone, I think the only fraternal funeral I'd seen was, I think it was online, Mr. Noise, when what's his name? Andwele passed away, and he was Q. I'd never seen anything like that in my life. Wow. The influx of Qs that came in, and they stepped throughout the it was unbelievable. Yeah. And I'm saying that to say I've seen many funerals in my life, but to see a Greek funeral was something different.
Soror. It's intense. It's intense.
Lori, I'm gonna talk about another side of this, because, like I said, we've unfortunately had some passings in our family over the last 2 years, and I've learned a lot more than I expected to learn in the planning of funerals. And one thing that I've learned is that we, as a people, have done a horrible job in preparing. So much so that when we're in the moment of having to prepare, there's how can I say this without offending your profession? There are many who would take advantage of my pain. Is that a good way to say that? So you're trying to reconcile your emotions and the situation that's going on, and then you realize that in this moment, this person that you're sitting across from is trying to get you to do more than what this moment requires. And so all of a sudden, you've gone from 2,000 to 4,000 to 8,000 to 12,000 to 20,000. You're like, wait a minute, how did I get here? I was just trying to get flowers. So important is it for people to prepare? And I noticed on your website, which I thought was awesome, you have right at the top, pre-plan. How important is it for people to pre-plan their funeral?
I think it's very important, because you are making your wishes known. So if you didn't want flowers, you would have said, I don't want flowers. So your family's not going to spend $800 on flowers that you said I didn't want. I had a family last week that said, Mom said, give me my flowers while I'm living. She doesn't want any flowers. So there were no flowers in the church. So I think it's important for people to be prepared. We prepare when we're going to go on a vacation. When you're going to go on vacation from your job, you sit there, you get all your notes ready. Everybody at the job knows, hey, I'm getting ready to go on vacation. So I think it's the same, but we don't treat it like that, because I'm talking about us.
No, yeah, no question.
We don't like to talk about it. If we bring up pre-planning, it's like, oh, you jinxing yourself, or oh, it's taboo, or I don't want to talk about it. But it's important to know, because That way you're not tearing up the house trying to find a policy. You're,
Mhm.
you're mad at the funeral home because we don't have a database. There is no database. There is no insurance database. So if you don't know what the policy is and you don't know who the beneficiary is, that's something that you can't use. So I think pre-planning is as simple as just having the conversation to as detailed as going to the funeral home and picking out the items. It's even something that you can just even have it at your house. You don't even have to come to the funeral home. You just told them, hey, this is what I want.
Your business is funerals. Okay. So I want to be clear to everybody. That's what Lori does for a living.
Mm-hmm.
But I get the sense, and you correct me if I'm wrong, that your business is also peace of mind. And that you want to make sure that families are having an honorable time, but also not putting themselves in a place that is wildly financially uncomfortable.
Correct.
How do you distinguish yourself from the other? I'll say this, and Lori did not say this. I'm looking right at the camera. I'm saying, how do you distinguish yourself from other vulture-like companies who are not about that, who will take advantage of this emotional moment and skyrocket that price to places that are not like even realistic?
I think in the funeral industry, you can tell when a person cares. You can tell when they're compassionate. You can tell when they're authentic, respectful, empathetic, and sincere. Because I'm just speaking for me because I'm not
exactly.
Well, for me, I have always treated the person across the table as if I'm the person sitting across the table. So I don't want someone to try to upsell me or try to, make me feel guilty saying, oh, mom will really like this. You don't even know mom. So how you know what she would really like?
Right.
For me, I've always, even after a person has passed and I'm on the phone with the family, I tell them, I don't even want to discuss the service right now. I want you to take today to be in the moment. Your person just passed, spend time with your family, call us in a couple days. That way you've kind of had a minute to kind of wrap your mind around what it is that you want to do. So I give people space and time because there are families that don't want to plan a funeral. It is difficult. And sometimes we do have to kind of take the lead to kind of say, okay, you do need this. You do need this. But I like to give people options. I like to make sure that people aren't taken advantage of. That's just not my nature. But I do know there are some people out there who you need this 18 gauge and you need this because they're thinking more of the bottom line. I've never approached business like that. Maybe I'm not using the MBA the way I was supposed to. But for me, I've always just believed that you treat people how you would want to be treated. And the success comes as a byproduct of that.
Now, Michelle is trying to out you. She says she's putting acronyms on here. Affinity Cares.
Michelle works at the funeral home, and I just
she said, "Come on, you got to tell her about
it." Our acronym of what that's how we treat every family. So every family has that respect and that dignity. And if you don't walk in that model, Michelle will tell you you get cut off. It's a standard. Underneath here, it doesn't say it on the logo. It says the finest in service. And you see where I put that finer in. The finest in service. So I really think that there are people that do take advantage, but I think that's why I'm thankful for the internet, because the internet allows you to be able to research before you get to the funeral home. What is the funeral home supposed to do? You are supposed to get a general price list every single time you walk into a funeral home and you discuss funeral plans. They should give you a general price list. You should know what their prices is. It's not some hidden number in the back like you're buying a car and you got to keep going to the back. No, they should give you a price list. You should be able to look at it. You should be able to question the bill. If you have questions on it, hey, what's this? How did you come to this number? Not haggling on the price, because we aren't in the business for you to be able to, always come and try to get a hookup, because you're not going to ask somebody at Walmart for a hookup.
Right.
The price is the price. But I think that having the knowledge of what it is as the consumer, because there are rights out there for the consumer. We're governed by the Federal Trade Commission. So we do have a vehicle. In Ohio, we have a board of funeral directors and embalmers that if there's an issue, the consumer can call the board, they can write a complaint, there is protection around the consumer. So I just wanted to put that out there as well.
So full disclosure, Lori, I just had a horrific time planning a funeral. And that was my number one complaint, because I guess the guy thought that I was going to just be this emotional wreck, and I wasn't going to pay attention to what he was saying and doing. And then I'm listening to what he's saying. I'm saying, well, now wait a minute. That in there a cost associated with that, and then there a cost associated with that, and then there a cost. Oh yeah, well there's a cost. I said, well, it sounds like this thing has ballooned from what I thought it was going to be to this other thing. Oh well, yeah, it would definitely be an upcharge. I said, well, man, that's not what we discussed it here. We're not discussing, and it felt cold. Right. It felt very, very cold, and so I'll be honest with you, it kind of turned me off to the whole thing. But then when Mama Noise, it was like, well, I got a soror that can come and talk to people about it. Well, let's get her over here, because I need to put my faith back into the industry, because
it really is a noble profession. Unfortunately, there are some pockets of people and some funeral homes that don't uphold the standard. But I think sometimes you have to go back and learn the history of what it is why even women in funeral service, because we've not really been the face of funeral service. It's the new. Now you see more women in the funeral industry. For a long time, it still is heavily male dominated industry. And so we make up about 56% now, but we were not. In 1971, we made up like 5%.
Well, we was coming to that question at some point, but before we get to that, we got a great question in the chat. Is it advisable to make a recording of your funeral plans? Nice. If you have minor children, should you select the person to follow through with your plans? That's a great question.
That's an excellent question. So I've never had anybody do a recording, but I've had a person kind of put their wishes kind of like on a disc or a flash drive to kind of keep it. But a recording also would work as well, because I think sometimes as we personalize programs, if you had a recording of a person, actually, you know what? We had a recording of a person who gave remarks at the very end of the program, and they had his father up on the screen, and he talk to people, and it was a nice touch. So I think that there are some opportunities to do that. If you have smaller children, yes, you should designate someone to be able to carry out those plans, because if you put a minor child on a policy, we've had this happen, and the child is the beneficiary, if they're not 18, they can't use that policy. So you're stuck. So I think that you should have someone to carry out those plans, and you should have a will. It is not that expensive to get a will. You can go to Legal Shield and get a will, but I think that you should have a plan. Yeah, a plan, just a plan, not that detailed, but just you really should kind of give it some thought, because unfortunately, the last couple of years have really made. If you've not thought of your own mortality living in the last couple of years, something is wrong. If you have not this question one time, like, if I get, when I got COVID, I started thinking, me and my husband both had it at the same time. I was thinking to myself, we both got COVID. We could check up on it. I mean, it was kind of thought like, wait a minute, our girls will be like, wait a minute here. So, I mean, you have living now, you have to, you don't know. It's COVID now, but it could be something else tomorrow. We don't know.
Wow.
Did you have I don't even know if that did you is probably not the right way to start it. Did you, well, now that we're in the pandemic, your increase in.
So we are still growing as a funeral home. So last year we were blessed to serve about 175 families. And so it seems to me, honestly, the COVID numbers weren't a big uptick until the beginning of like last year, the end of last year, and now. And now it's like, before it was like, oh, okay, a couple people had COVID. Now it's like almost every other case that's coming in has COVID. And it's really causing me to be like, well, my goodness. And so, you've heard about the spike, but for a while there, I was like, I know spike, this news, but now it's like, yes, there is. And it really is a lot in our community. Maybe before, I think we did a good job of being more cautious. I think we have gotten a little lax with now how we kind of operate. Before, you had a can of Lysol in your purse, you had some wipes.
Right.
You have a 4 or 5 mask. I mean, Ohio, Columbus, we still have a mask mandate. So I think we did a better job of kind of keeping ourselves a little bit safe. But there is a definite uptick of the number of COVID cases. And I think I went to a convention, and one of the funeral directors there said, if your business has not, grown during COVID, and you have not made some substantial gains, something is wrong with your business model, because there are families that need your services. So yes, COVID did.
Well, did our culture handle the COVID protocols that were put in place? When I think about the funeral industry, I'm thinking, okay, you know how we normally handle funerals, so now you factor in COVID protocol. How did that go?
So we had, sanitized stations. Use this clean pen. Use this dirty pen. We had signs. Stand here 6 feet. We had X's. We had masks. We had ropes around the casket. We got more. I had more attendants than normal on the service just to kind of keep it flowing. You still getting yelled at. You still getting, this is my cousin. I'm gonna do. You ain't gonna tell me. You still get all that. Ma'am, we're in COVID. I need you to do your greetings and keep going. I need you to wave. We're still hugging. So it's like there was no, some funeral homes here in the city did only 10 people, 10 family members. There was a lot of people who weren't calling that funeral home because they're like 10. So you had to kind of strike a balance of, how do I keep my staff safe, myself safe, and still have a business, because we still have to allow people to be able to, you need that opportunity to say goodbye. We culturally, if you ain't having no funeral, it's like, you got to have something. And so I think for us, we didn't cooperate, because that's not what we do. That's not what we do.
We didn't cooperate. We're doing it this way.
We doing this. But I think for the most part, I think Affinity did a nice job of how we've served during the pandemic.
I'll ask a personal question, if you don't mind, Mama Noiz. How do you and your staff handle the fatigue of it all? Because this has been a lot. Like, funerals in and of itself is not, if I can say it this way, a happy business. No. But even harder when the volume is probably reached where it has reached. So how do you disconnect, or maybe a better question is, what does Michael do to help you disconnect?
So Michael knows that his wife is an absolute workaholic. It's bad, and so burnout happens. It happens in our industry a lot, because it's not a lot of people who are licensed to be able to do what you do. So it's not like you can call somebody and say, hey, can you cover for me, because you need a licensed director. Right. So for me, I think I have an awesome staff that recognizes that I am a workaholic. So they have come alongside me to kind of take some stuff off my plate, to allow me to kind of, I told them last week, you all have given me my life back, because I would be up till 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning doing stuff, and then running into the office. And, so I think for us, Michael does a good job of making sure that he tells me that I need to spend time with him, because if not, he'll be like, hey, I was here before the funeral. Hey. And so for me, I have to kind of pull back and kind of take those chances to kind of spend time, go out to eat, hang out, go to a show. Or my daughter's a flight attendant. I will catch a flight in a minute. Listen, I'll be like, my birthday's coming up. I'm planning on going some places. And so for me, I just need just a little reprieve. For me, I just kind of something funny, something to laugh about, because there's some funny stuff that happens in funeral service, but you can't really,
I can only imagine.
You can't really talk to the consumer about some funny stuff that people be doing on these services. And so sometimes just the humor of it just gets you through the day, because it is a lot.
Listen,
babies, when you see, it's a lot.
Listen, Lori, this is a safe space. So if you ever want to bring some of them funny stories here, we're welcome with open arms.
Listen. I want to do a TikTok of the mourners, of how you come, because sometimes people come in with the shades, and then sometimes people come in in the back of the church, they falling out loud. Some of them just You know, it's listen, they have won some Oscars. Some Oscars. But I think sometimes you just we are very expressive. And I have seen the difference between our service and someone else's service. I've seen our funerals are different.
You are so tactful. You are so tactful.
It's nothing like a black.
Nothing like it. Nothing like it. And we give you all of it. Like we'll give you all levels from
all of it,
all out to fight to whatever.
Oh, listen, don't talk about the fight. Don't talk about the fight.
Yeah,
wow.
I've seen them all. I've seen them all as well. And I'm like, this is a lot. I didn't expect you to jump over the casket that way. So how do people in that area or really anywhere, how do they reach Affinity Memorial Chapel? What's the strategy?
So our website, affinitymemorialchapel.com. Phone number 614-427-1234. Found an easy number that's easy for a person to know. We also started a podcast right before the pandemic, but then it was too much to try to do it during the pandemic because, to be honest, I was just trying to stay safe and keep the business open.
Yeah.
We are going back to it. It's called Funerals with a S, Funeral 614. We have a couple podcasts out there of interviews that I did with a couple of my mentors. So we're getting ready to launch that back. But we are located at 1370 East Main Street, Columbus, Ohio, 43205.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Let's
go ahead, Kieta.
I was going to ask you. First of all, thank you for sharing with us about the Greek funerals. That's there's a lot of sorors in the chat that I'm sure. No, I'm not sure. They may not have had that experience, and we know that it's available to us, but to actually attend an actual service, a funeral where the Zeta portion is incorporated in, I imagine it's something. It's an experience.
It is. Our founder's daughter passed, and she was from Great Lakes region, and so we traveled to Michigan to Flint to the service, and that was kind of my first experience, and that kind of was, and then we had a chapter soror recently who passed, and it just was, it just kind of hits home like, wow, this is.
So that's information that we would need to make sure that our families are aware of, that we would want to.
Yes, because there's stuff that, there's stuff that we need to do with the paraphernalia that we have. So it's just letting our families know what to do with it and who to give it to. That's a part of the planning process as well.
Wow.
But let me ask you another question. What does a funeral director do? So,
oh man, we have so many different hats, because sometimes a funeral director is just meeting with families. Family comes in, I'm going to sit down with them. I'm going to explain to them what it is the funeral home does. I'm going to let them pick out those items for the funeral service. And then sometimes the funeral director is in the back, and I'm getting someone dressed and casketed and ready for the next family that's going to come in and do an approval viewing. And then sometimes I'm in the car and I'm taking phone calls from a person who's calling, who's just lost a loved one, and I'm trying to direct them on how to get their loved one to the funeral home. And then sometimes the funeral director's sitting down and they're paying bills. Funeral director owner, I'm sitting down and I'm paying the bills, or I'm running payroll, or I'm at the cemetery with covering a graveside service. Sometimes a funeral director, I'm running the social media. There's so many different aspects of the business. And it's funny because sometimes funeral directors don't get the credit for the different skills that we have, because we really do have a lot of different skills, but people just see when I was looking for in-between jobs before I decided funeral service is really what I really wanted to do, I was thinking about trying to get another job, and on there all my experience was funeral service. And so a lot of people would look over it. They didn't look at the fact that I had 2 masters. They didn't look at any of that. It was just, oh, you just been a funeral director. I'm like, but it's a lot of stuff that goes into that. And so I think we sometimes don't get the credit for everything that we do to really help a family get to the next leg of their journey.
Wow. We titled the show today, It's Happening Whether You Want to or Not. What would be the one thing that you would tell people listening today about how to get ready for this moment that inevitably we're all going to have?
I would say, you said it's happening. I would say everybody has to punch out. Everybody has to hit that time clock and punch out, And so I think that in preparing for that, I think we just need to have the conversation. I tell people all the time, have the conversation. It could just be just like this. We don't have no paper down. We're just having a simple conversation. I think sometimes having the conversation of how do you want to be remembered? Lloyd, how do you want to be remembered? I'm gonna ask you that. How do you want to be remembered? Not what kind of service, but
yeah. No, I got you.
About you.
I think I want to be remembered as having had an impact on the world and made it better than the way I found it. For myself, for my family, and for others.
So what would you say?
Make an impact on the world.
That's fine. You can steal it.
Want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered as a woman that loves God, loves her family, incredibly, she had an incredible love for her husband.
See, look at that noise, girl.
I mean, I'm sprung. I've been sprung for almost 23 years now.
Equally sprung. We're both sprung.
You know, and I have, prayer has always been my lifeline. And when we first met, my husband and I, or should I say when we were engaged, no, not engaged. When we got married, that's what it was. When we got married, we after we said our vows, and they introduced us as Mr. and Mrs. Lloyd Spence Jr., they opened the doors to the church to invite people to come to Christ.
See.
And so I feel like that I would want to do the same thing. I would want the doors to the church to be open for people to have the opportunity to give their life to Christ. Once again. I knew what I was saying. On our first date, I gave my life to Christ at the altar that once we got married, that same altar was we got married at, and then we extended the invitation.
Wow.
On our wedding day. So on my death, I would want to have the doors to the church open and the invitation for people to accept Jesus Christ, their Lord and Savior.
I'm watching his face while you were talking, and it's like one of those, I didn't know that.
Or, no, I was just going to say, first of all,
so see,
really you thought about this. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was like our first date, our wedding day. And I would want my departure from this world to be where people will have the opportunity.
Oh, don't do it, sis. Come on, I got my makeup on.
I'm sorry. I would want people to have that same opportunity that was extended to me. And then if they see how my life, you know, when they talk about my life and things like that, they'll say, man, so she was engaged. You know, she gave her life to Christ, and then at this altar, she got married at this altar. It must be some type of it's something that there's something to things starting at the altar, you know, starting at the feet of Jesus. So it would be that, and I would want to be surrounded by sunflowers.
See, that's it right there. The simple conversation. Just now. So in that conversation, I heard sunflowers. I heard church service. I heard open the doors of the church. And I heard parts of the obituary already. In my mind, I already sketched out a whole bunch of stuff that she said. It's just the conversation. We don't often want to have it. That wasn't spooky. That wasn't. You know, it was just people just have the conversation.
I would. I'm a worshiper. I would love for it to be worship. Now, my husband's just he's my opposite. He's like, I would want a whole bunch of praise. No, I'm more of the worship, and he's more of the
opposite.
You are the praise. I want people to smile, and I want people.
Yeah, I don't want to say it.
That's why I say he's the opposite.
So we gotta have praise music that's up tempo. That's all.
Yeah.
We go. It's gonna be a party of mine.
Listen, that's what I'm talking. But I love that you all are having the conversation and talking about a topic that people don't want to talk about.
Yeah,
it's a heavy subject. It really is heavy, but it's coming. Whether what you said the title was,
happening whether you want it to or not.
Whether we want to or not, it's happening.
It's
I'm
true.
gonna tell you something, Lori.
Go ahead.
You have today restored my faith in the industry.
Oh,
I'm being honest. I'm being real with you. This real. You want the real? It's real. You have restored my faith in the industry because these last couple of experiences were set sour me. Like whatever. But if they could be, we could cookie cut you and make you the model, I think more people would. I wouldn't say they would enjoy the process because it's not an enjoyable process, but at least they would have a piece in the process.
Right.
And that's all you're really looking for.
Right.
That's all you're really looking for. So I appreciate this conversation a lot. Yeah.
That if the industry would take your example, and incorporate the community, like to help people be more comfortable with talking to you about things way before anything ever happens, it would help so much as a culture where we don't want to talk about nothing. I tried to talk to my parents long before, and then you trying to put me in the ground. Like, what the world? I'm just trying to ask, do you have some type of plan? Do you know something I don't know? And it's like, oh my gosh.
That's exactly what it is. Exactly. It's like people are even afraid to even say who the beneficiary is. I've sat in a room where nobody knows who the beneficiary is on a policy. Come on now, but we got to do better. We have to do better.
I never had the conversation with my parents, and I never got to have the conversation with either of my parents. So it was a mess. The whole thing was just a stressful mess. It's trying to sort out everything
people
and
fighting, people jockeying for a position, people, for the person that's even out the house good, people trying to take stuff. It just
oh my goodness gracious. How do you handle that? How do you handle?
I mean, we've had arrangement sessions where I was like, do I got to go underneath the table? Because it's about to go down in here. I mean, I had to put the pen down. One time I had to say, listen, I know everybody is hurting here. I hear it. You're all saying the same thing, but yelling and screaming isn't going to get this done.
Right.
So we got to take a pause and come back and let's start over.
I don't really care where you live, people that are listening today. When you pass, you need to call Lori Diaz.
How about when you pass?
I'm just saying, somebody need to be calling Lori Diaz at Affinity Memorial Chapel in Columbus, Ohio. I'm sure they can travel. They'll do whatever you need to do, but it's going to be a little more expensive that way. But, but the flip side of it is you're going to have peace of mind. And how much is peace of mind? So I'm just saying, or just move to Ohio. Either way, it don't matter.
That's right. Listen,
because
it's cold, though. It's cold.
There's been so many. What they call? I think it was Jay, our co-host, the other day was saying that there's been so many people that's been GoFunding me because they don't have a plan.
That is not life insurance. GoFundMe is not life insurance because you're relying on people to pay for something that I was thinking of that today. If I say I really love my husband, I'm going to put some measures in place so that he knows that I love him. And so asking him at a time where it's already critical to say, oh, Lori didn't have no insurance. Can y'all donate? I mean, I know there's some times that you need to, and I'm not knocking the families that don't have it, but I think sometimes people don't have it because they just haven't realized insurance can be affordable. When you're younger, it's way affordable. Right. So that's when you need to get it, not just having insurance on your job because we change jobs too much. You need to have a separate policy. Your job policy is your extra. Have a separate policy, but GoFundMe is not the option because you're relying on people to give you. Plus, GoFundMe takes a percentage. They take 5%.
They take 5%. Exactly right.
So it's like, yes, there's cases when you have to have it. I tell families, you're not the first family who's had to, do the dinners and to ask around. But that's when you have to kind of, I think sometimes you have GoFundMe when people aren't realistic on what they want. You got a $10,000 funeral, but you want other people to pay for it.
Right.
Now, if you had something smaller, I could see, okay. But when you want that, you want the bells and whistles, but you haven't prepared for it.
Yeah, that's not fair. That's not fair.
Yeah.
Lord, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We have met a friend for life now.
Now, where are you at? Houston?
We are in Texas.
What part?
Plano, which is basically Dallas.
Plano. Okay, so when I visit Dallas, I'm gonna call.
Please, we'll hang out and all that good stuff. Yeah, and bring Michael with you because
he coming. He coming. If I say Dallas, he coming.
That sounds like you're a Cowboy fan.
You sound like you're a Dallas Cowboy fan.
No,
okay.
His sister used to live in Dallas. They just moved to Arizona, but we visited Dallas. Dallas is a nice city. I thought you were gonna say Houston because I like Houston too. I have some college.
We like Houston too. It's just too hot.
Okay.
It's hot.
It's hot down there, man.
It's even hot. It's humid.
Yeah, I can't take it.
It is humid down there, closer to the water.
Well, I hope to meet you guys. I thank you all for allowing me to come on the show and
talk
that I absolutely love. I know it's crazy, but I am Lori Diaz, the funeral chick. That is my handle. That's what I'm known as, the funeral chick.
The funeral chick.
That's on all your social media, Lori Diaz, the funeral chick.
Yeah, the funeral chick. I have an Instagram page, the funeral chick, and then I also have when we do funerals, 614, the host is the funeral chick, which is me.
So is it just the funeral chick or it's
on Instagram, it's the funeral chick.
The funeral
chick. I got
the funeral chick.
I'm gonna have to follow you on Instagram because that's
I'm following you just for that.
Check out our when you get a chance, check out our podcast, which is Funerals 614. You can get it on Apple or Spotify, wherever you listen to podcast. There's about 5 of them on there, and one of them actually we flew to Dallas and we did the owner of Golden Gate Funeral. I interviewed
him.
Wait a minute now, what does the handle look like on Instagram? Because I'm looking at
CHIC.
Okay.
Oh no, okay, gotcha.
Okay.
You see it? You see me?
No, because I'm looking at
I'm gonna find it because
I know, because I'm looking at somebody else on here. This is somebody else has got a different handle here. The funeral. Okay, hold on. That might be important.
Yeah, the funeral chick.
I see you. Okay, I see that cute picture right there. I see it.
That's me.
I got you. I'm following you now. I see it now. Because I was like, what?
Instagram. These pictures are okay. Now I got now hold on. Who's that? Who is that right there?
That's Michael.
I knew it. I kind of figured it. You know, I knew it was him because I'm watching the way he smiled. He's like, "Look what I got right
yeah, look." He's like, "Yeah, okay."
Oh yeah, Michael with your bad self. Boy.
I'm just
all
saying.
right now. That's good. All right, listen. Thank you again. This has been amazing. I love these kind of interviews because one of the things we pride ourselves of doing at this podcast is having difficult conversations. And I know there's a difficult conversation that a lot of people don't want to have. But man, like we said at the beginning, it's going to happen. Whether you want it to or not, you might as well have it. And if you can have it the way that we had it today, which it was so beautiful. And I didn't even know my lovely bride wanted all those wonderful things. So it's just beautiful to be able to know that there are people out there that still have integrity and are doing things the right way, which I'm not surprised because you already started life out the right way. You went and became a Zeta. See what I did there?
That's right. That's right. Thank you all for allowing me to come on. I really enjoyed myself.
Awesome.
Thank you. I put it out there.
Keep making noise, y'all. Keep making noise.
We making noise. I put it on the Zeta page, and I was like, I need to find a funeral director that's gonna be perfect to come to our show. And I was like, You know, I saw a couple of them, and I'm saying, okay, all of them are finer, but pal.
Oh, thank you so much.
You are now the official funeral director of Noise Media and Entertainment.
Oh, hey, y'all should have a little segment.
Didn't even know we needed that, but we got it now.
Have me back.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, we'll bring you back.
Absolutely, absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. This is the lovely Lori Diaz.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lori. All right. I enjoyed that tremendously. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you. That I enjoyed that tremendously. She is a sweetheart. She is a woman of integrity.
Yeah.
And I meant what I said. She has restored my faith in funeral directors because I'm telling you, you're living with me every day. That last one we had.
Well, yeah. Oh, well, yeah, that was bad.
That last one was a lot.
That was bad. He kind of understand why you would kind of burn your feelings for the whole industry as a whole when you saying, man, this is the time I need you to be, get your life together. I don't need you over here trying to take advantage of me when, I'm at my point right now.
Yeah. I liked also that she said that I like that she said GoFundMe is not insurance.
Oh yeah, it's not life insurance. I've never seen it so much in my whole life. And all my years of,
but I get it though. If you have not prepared and planned for that, sometimes that's the only option that families are left with. Because most of us don't have rich uncles and rich aunts and cousins who can come in and step in and do whatever. We don't have that. So this is the only option we have left.
But I think it sort of shifted because I remember when we had Soror Danielle Lewis on here that came on her and talked about insurance, her insurance agency, and talked about all the different kinds. And it seemed like just like Big Mama is almost non-existent. It's like when the different Big Mamas have left, it's like nobody else talked about life insurance as much as Big Mama. I mean, my grandmother had life insurance policies on all her kids and her grandkids. Okay, who does that? I mean, in this day and time, folks is like, look, now, if I take some out, it's just for me, but not for, me, my husband, my kids, and to make sure, because one thing my grandmother never wanted was to have one of her closest loved ones pass away and not have the necessary monies to be able to have them a proper burial.
Mama Noise, you shocked me today. I wasn't expecting some of those answers that you gave.
What? Really?
I wasn't. I mean, we've kind of talked about it, but today to hear you say, I want this and I want this and this, that was beautiful, man. That was really, really beautiful. Wow.
Well, when I think about our lives, next month we will have been married 23 years. Yeah. And I think about how our life began when we, on our first date with me giving my life to Christ on our first date at that altar. And then the chain of events that I didn't even see coming, but to have the privilege to be able to become your wife at that same altar, I would want, that's the first thing came to mind, is that I would want to, I would not want to have a funeral in a funeral home. I would want to have it in a church service. Okay. And I would want to, like I said, I would want to depart is the same way that I came into the kingdom. That's the same way I would want, and I would want to be surrounded by sunflowers. And anybody that knows me knows how much I love sunflowers. I would hope that everybody that knows me knows the theme, so it wouldn't be something random. They would all be like, "Oh, one thing we know for sure, I know she loves sunflowers."
Well, listen, essentially, Mama Noise, what you're really saying is that we want everything to set up in a way that I don't know, gives everybody peace of mind. And see, NordVPN gives you peace of mind. Because what's more important than peace of mind? Nothing. Nothing, right? And that's what NordVPN is here for, to give you peace of mind while you're online. And with all the threats that you face today on the internet, it is more important than ever to be sure that you have the best VPN you can get. Because NordVPN is the world's best VPN service, offering the fastest connectivity, most servers, and next-gen encryption to make sure that everything you do online stays secure. Plus, you can use NordVPN when you're making your funeral arrangements, because it's workable on all your computer devices, no matter the operating system. With NordVPN, you got unlimited bandwidth. You never have to worry about a slow connection either. And plans start at under $4 per month. So grab your exclusive NordVPN deal by going to nordvpn.com/believe or use the code BELIEVE. That's BLEAV to get up to 70% off your NordVPN plan plus one additional month for free. It's also risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. So there you go. That's NordVPN.
I listened to what you said about, and I know that you were saying, I mean, you didn't really get specific, how women are like, detail oriented, and you kind of just said,
Well, I answered the question. You went a little deeper. I answered the question.
Well, because I was, I started thinking about my heart my heart's desire in that question.
Right.
And was thinking I would just want, then it was like, okay, no, it wouldn't be something simple as that. It would be, and I visualize it in my mind. I'm sitting there thinking, even though Azaria is getting overwhelmed listening to us talk about our wishes on what we would want. And
I understand that.
She's overwhelmed where she's asking to come in for a hug and everything. Like she don't want to think about her parents.
Maybe in for a hug, Mama Noise. Let her in for a hug. She might need a hug right now.
I was like, oh, mercy.
I get it. Because listen, this is like we said earlier, this is not an easy topic to have, but it's the type of topic that we all going to have someday. Oh, look at the baby. She just love her mama. Yes, she do.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
All right. You'll be able to play this back one day and okay, no, that's not what you want to hear right now. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't think, stop rubbing it in.
Sorry. All is well, sweetheart. These are conversations, like I said, I tried to talk to my parents about, and it was stonewalled. And so
listen. Noisemakers know that over the past 2 years, we've lost all of our fathers. My stepfather, my biological father, you lost your father in the past 2 years. I had already lost my mother. So I don't have a parent anymore, as far as other than my grandparent, other than my grandmother. I don't have a parent. So I know this topic very well. It's very difficult to have this conversation. But and I never got a chance to have this conversation with any of my parents, none of them. So sorting through their affairs after they passed was not the easiest thing to do. It's challenging. It's very, very challenging, and even dare I say frustrating. But it has to be done, and somebody's got to take on the responsibility. And me being the oldest, I have to take on that responsibility. So you do what you got to do. But nevertheless, if you can pre-plan, if you can pre-talk, and if you can have a conversation as beautiful as the one we just had,
oh my gosh,
then it makes it a lot easier and a lot more palatable to be able to handle the conversation.
I noticed that you didn't say anything really. You said a few things.
Something.
Yeah, but it really wasn't.
I didn't say what you wanted me to say, but I said what I said.
No, I mean, you didn't exactly say
what I said.
You didn't exactly specifically say.
I did. I said, she said, what do you want to leave what do you want to leave this earth having done? And I said, I want to know that I've had impact. I've changed some lives. I've done what God called me to do. That's all I want. That's all I've ever wanted.
Yeah, but that doesn't say what a funeral.
She didn't ask about the funeral. You decided to make it about your funeral. She asked about what do you want your life to have said. That's what she said.
Okay, well,
go back and look and listen to the question.
And then I'm asking the question.
What are you asking me?
What would you want
for my funeral?
That
some glitter.
Nope.
I don't know. I liked a lot of things you said, though. I do like a lot of things you said. I think the number one thing that I want is I don't want you to go into ridiculous debt. Don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I want it to be festive. I want it to be fun. I want it to be a party. I want everybody walking around talking about all of the wonderfulness. I don't want people sitting around in a perpetual state of sadness. And I don't want that. I mean, now obviously I don't get to make the choice, but if you're asking me, that's what I want. I want y'all to have a good time. I want y'all to get some good food. You know, I'm a foodie, so cook some good food or order some good food from somewhere. Mm-hmm. Just have a good time and then walk out and then, leave the funeral and go on vacation with some of the money that you just got that I left you.
Oh. Well,
go on vacation and have some fun.
Well, I see like in the chat, like Stefan's talking about cremated and different ones were talking about just what was that? Just drop me in the ground.
Please.
Well, I'm saying because I'm talking to you and I heard what you said, but there's no way I could ever cremate you.
Why not?
I'm just saying, if you ask my opinion, I could never do that.
And why are you anti-cremation?
I just don't want it. I don't want to. The last time I see you is to just look at a can or I mean a vase or something. And some people might be like, put the vase in your house and stuff like that. I don't want that.
You ain't got to keep the creation. You can get rid of it.
No, I wouldn't want. No, I wouldn't want to do that either. I would want.
That's not me, right?
Huh? I know. I know. But I would want to do you justice, in my opinion.
How you feel like that wouldn't be doing me justice?
I don't know. I think I would want you. I don't know. Again, it would seem like something I would want for you. And you saying, I don't care. Just put me in a pine box, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen. But I hear you. But I just can't imagine.
Ron, you cold-blooded, brother. Put me in a Pringles can. That's cold-blooded.
No. And ain't no you right. I would not.
I don't like Pringles stuff.
You know what?
At least put me in a can that's something I like.
No.
I'm just saying, don't just stick me in any can. That's rude. Now, that would be rude.
I'm just saying, because I hear people talk about, tombstones and things like that. And I'm like, I would absolutely want you to have one.
Okay.
Wow. Even Michelle from Affinity says we got more to talk about.
It feels like it, Michelle. Like, I don't, she wants all this stuff.
No, I'm just saying. I know you're saying you don't want me to spend all this money, but I just can't imagine just putting you in a box.
Chad says, spread me by the Staples Center. Well, it's the crypto.com center now, Chad. So I can be by the Lakers.
What? I don't want to be.
That's if we move to LA. We don't move to LA, then that's a long trip.
No, I don't want to be. There's no place for me to visit and grieve.
You're going to have to go to meet and greet? Is that what's going on?
I'm saying I would need to go to some place where I thought one of your ashes was.
Yeah, I don't know. This part I ain't never thought about, like where I go.
I'm just saying that was.
Maybe I should act like old boy in Black Panther. Bury me in the ocean with my ancestors.
Nope.
They knew that death was better than bondage.
Yeah. No, I would not want you in the ocean.
All right.
I would, like Jay said, have you under a nice shade tree by a nice still pond.
There you go. Do that.
You know what, Lord? That don't sound like nothing you would want. You would be like, yeah, there you go.
Oh, that's fine. I'm not even gonna be here.
I know, but you like, yeah, that sounds right. Like,
I'm not even gonna be here. So
I wouldn't want to ask you to. I wouldn't want to put you where you'd be like, well, what you said when you really like, I could care less about that.
I don't care really. My thing is, don't spend a whole lot of money. Don't be going crazy. I'll come back if you spend more than.
Oh my gosh, really? You would be trying to do like Ebenezer's?
I pull up right up at the funeral home, be like, "What you doing, player?
Nope.
This ain't the plan, player." That's what I'll show out there. I'll show out. I'll just like Lori, she had to put the pen down and be like, "What? Why are you here?" I'm like, "Cause she's going too far."
Oh, okay.
I asked for all this.
Well, that's true. I understand. I understand.
Just saying. All right. Let's bring some joy back for some of the people. Some people are wildly uncomfortable right now watching today.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We're fine. We said we advertised the show as is what we advertised it to be, so it's fine. They knew what they was getting into. I did watch the Versus last night.
Oh,
I forgot it was on, but I did watch it. Where's Cuz? There's Cuz. He made it. Cuz, was you struggling with this conversation? Were you having a hard time with it?
I haven't been listening.
He wasn't having a hard time. He visits cemeteries like we visit different Disneylands across the U.S.
Cold-blooded. First of all, he said he came in talking about he ain't been listening on a podcast that he's a part of.
Well,
I've been busy this morning.
Oh, Lord. Should I ask?
Who?
Should I ask?
No.
Okay.
No, he got the door closed, so that means the dog ain't coming in and out.
So what was the conversation?
You had our special guest on, Lori Diaz, and she talked about how you prepare for funerals and the importance of it and all that good stuff. So we had a good discussion, man. You missed it.
She's a funeral director.
Well, one of the things I want to point out, I don't know what y'all talked about, but Mama Noah's mentioned yesterday that someone she knew had burial insurance for 40 years and only had about $7,000.
Right. If that, man, ain't been that much.
That was not life insurance. That was strictly burial insurance.
Right.
What they used to do to black people was they would come around to your house and sign you up.
That's right.
And you would pay that burial insurance for 40, 50 years. And come to find out when you died, it was only a few $1,000s.
That's right.
But what we need more of is life insurance. We do need burial insurance too, but you can borrow against your life insurance.
Yeah, that's whole life.
Right. You can borrow against it in the case of your death.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get your life insurance, then the funeral home company is paid off.
Absolutely. That's why on I believe it was a couple of months back we had Danielle Lewis, who was she owns her own insurance company. She's an insurance broker, and she discussed with us the different types of insurance, life, burial, and another policy. So if you need to fly in relatives to come to the funeral, that's incorporated. The one that gives you instant access to monies. Where a lot of the different things have to have time pass by in order for you to gain access to stuff that you need immediately. Like when she said, I think when you're off work, your work will probably only give you a week worth of bereavement leave, but to pay things, to take care of some immediate things that need to be taken care of. There's a policy for that, and so she was giving us insight. So in Noisemakers, if you want to go back to that past show here on Talkin Noise, it was when we were featuring Danielle Lewis, the insurance broker. She was giving us all that information.
Have you thought about your funeral, cuz?
Oh, hell yeah.
What do you want?
Simple as possible. I probably want to be cremated, but it don't really matter. As long as I'm in the national cemetery, a veteran cemetery, I'm happy.
So you want to be with the rest of your ARM what RARMY guy?
You ain't got to spell army now. Yeah, that's too difficult.
I struggled with it just now. I did.
Oh,
I'm not sure if you were spelling Amy or what.
I got lost in the sauce for some reason.
I've never been in Amy, so I couldn't say.
oh
that.
my gosh.
Somehow I doubt that.
No, I've never been in Amy.
Agree to disagree. Yeah, her name may have not have been Amy, but it was, you know.
No, the only Wahites was Hilda and oh shit, what was that girl name?
I don't know. Michelle said, "Thank you for your service." By the way, Michelle works for Affinity Memorial Chapel, the funeral home that we had on the show today, and she's a very sweet girl. So don't ruin this for her.
I'm just saying.
Don't say anything too stupid.
I didn't say that, but I'm just saying.
Michelle, I'm liable to say something real stupid, but
there's no liable to this. First of all, once again, 2 days in a row, rigmarole and liable. What? Why all these old ass words? What is going on with you today? You having an old?
The funeral home Michelle works at. Where are they located?
Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus is a nice town.
It's okay.
Oh yeah, I remember going there. It's very clean.
It's very clean. Now I'll say that. I agree with that. It's very clean.
The downtown area is really nice.
It's very conservative. I think that's what threw me off when I first went.
I didn't go there for politics. I went there to have.
I didn't either. But you don't get a feel of a. There's not a wildness in Columbus like like when you go to certain cities, you sense that there's a.
What you talk about is not a wildness.
That don't mean that just because it's a college town don't mean it's not wild. I mean,
come on.
No, it's not wild. I'm telling you, it's not.
It's not Liberty University, damn it! It ain't them damn conservatives.
No, it ain't that bad, but it's not. It's you go to other colleges. There seems to be, or college towns, there seems to be more of a energy. Whereas with Columbus, I didn't see that. I didn't get that. Now the football team is, fever pitch, but beyond that, the city itself is not like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Now they love Ohio State. Now they're listening. They'll probably put you out if you start talking anything other than Ohio State and Columbus.
We toured the college campus and toured the town. It's a nice city.
Did you go to the cemeteries there?
No, I didn't know of any famous people buried there, so I didn't visit in the cemeteries. But if some famous people were buried there that I knew about.
Is Gerald Levert buried there?
Who?
Gerald Levert, he from Ohio.
Well,
but what part?
I wasn't thinking about.
Might be from Cleveland.
I wasn't thinking about Gerald Levert.
Well, I frequent Cincinnati Ohio more than I did any other part of Ohio. Because it was right across the bridge from Kentucky.
That water, yes, that's up on that water.
So we just talking about Ohio today? Is that what we're doing?
Well, no, I'm just saying, it was. That's the one thing about living in Louisville, Kentucky, is just 100 miles in that direction takes you right to Cincinnati, and then we go right over the bridge. And I didn't hang out in Covington because I think Covington is the city right there on the Kentucky side of the river, but
yeah, Covington's interesting too.
Has Cincinnati gotten better?
What do you mean by that? Better?
You mean crime-wise?
Well, their downtown area is night and day in comparison to Columbus.
It has improved.
Oh, good.
All right. Everybody's You know, this Michelle, she's pretty special in her own right. I just went to her Facebook page. She's a caterer and a CEO, and her page says she's a minister. See, she's a minister. You almost said something crazy.
What?
You do insurance and
I cussed in front of a preacher in a heartbeat.
What?
yeah, well, you know, she got a lot going on.
Cincinnati is nice. I always heard it was the nasty natty.
Oh Lord, y'all gonna make the preacher.
No, that's not where they're at. They're in.
Gonna be our last time on the show.
No, they're not in Cincinnati though.
That's the same thing I think about Louisville. I mean,
watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
See that there?
Watch your mouth. You're going too far now. You're going too far.
We actually enjoyed the town of Louisville.
Just say Louisville. Yeah.
Oh.
It's a dumb way to pronounce it.
No.
Is it? Because Mississippi just rolls off the tongue.
The MI cricket letter.
Y'all literally have 4 S's and 2 P's in a name, but we got the dub pronunciation.
Anyway, I enjoyed my time in Louisville.
See, you told me to stay out the chat, but I'm just telling you.
Trying to, yeah, it's a nice town.
No, we're not a town. That's where you're from.
Yeah, horrible.
Over in the city.
Yeah, horrible barbecue. Your food sucks.
What the what?
No, it doesn't. The food as a whole does not suck. If you're looking for barbecue, we got a few barbecue places, but the food as a whole is good. There's a lot of great places to eat. We just don't have barbecue. Ain't just one of the things we do the best.
It's a hub for restaurants around the nation to have come there to open their businesses in Louisville.
You know how many cities say that same thing.
It's true though. That's how the
hey, I know one city that don't say it. Jackson, Mississippi. Y'all ain't got enough space to have a hub.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
If y'all try to start a hub, y'all crowd out the whole city.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. What else is going on today, y'all? I was telling y'all I watched the verses last night. It was pretty good.
Thank you, Stefan. Stefan speaking up for the Louisville area.
Yeah, get out of the chat. Don't make me say it again.
What? I just did it before, cuz that's all.
I'm spanking on the syllable tonight if you don't stop.
All right, okay then.
But I thought about this last verses. I thought about this last verses with Anthony Hamilton and Music Soldier. and you know, they just last night was the start of the new season. So I wanted to ask you guys in season 3, who would you like to see?
Well, I want to know, why did you send that to me? Because, like,
you like music. You like good music. They got good music.
I like good gospel music.
Okay, so who do you want to see in the gospel verses?
I really don't know. I don't know. I don't know up-to-date gospel artists. All the artists
first of all, an up-to-date gospel artist wouldn't be in the verses.
All the artists I like are dead.
Dang. There's a song called "All My Friends Are Dead." I guess you.
I mean, all the ones I like, I don't know gospel verses. I don't know.
Stefan, it was Andy Hamilton in music last night.
I also like some good jazz, but who would I want to hear?
Now you know what's interesting about what you just said, sir? They have yet to have a jazz versus. And I think a jazz versus would be awesome. So I would love to see a full-on jazz versus, like a Kirk Whalum versus Kenny G or something like that.
Oh, and see, you'd be like, he's still alive.
I like Gerald Albright versus.
Okay, Gerald Albright versus Kirk Whalum.
I need to know, some of these people still alive?
Yes, they're alive.
Well, I mean, I don't hear anything.
Just because we had a show on funerals today don't mean we got to kill off everybody. What's wrong with
No, I'm saying Jay. Why you ain't get Jay? He talking about all his
I said y'all.
All his favorite people are dead. All his artists are dead. I'm like,
both of y'all trying to kill folk off today. Everybody ain't dead.
No, they're not. But I'm saying all of the jazz artists, you like, okay, like ours would have been Wayman Tisdale, and he's not alive.
I would have loved this. Wayman was my guy. I love Mr. Wayman Tisdale.
Mm-hmm.
Phenomenal family too. Got a chance to meet his family, and phenomenal family.
What?
Yeah,
What'd you say?
I got a chance to meet his family.
Well, I need you to hit the button.
No, I'm not hitting the button.
You hitting the button. You like, well, Jay.
No,
Jay
they're really common people in Tulsa. They're good people in Tulsa. They're not standoffish in Tulsa.
They're not.
The dad, pastor, they all in the community in Tulsa.
His daddy was a good dude, but I met his daddy and his brother.
Right.
You're supposed to get the humble flex button.
No, they're very approachable in the city of Tulsa. They really are.
But if Noise was on here, he would have a fit knowing that you done dropped that the Wayman Tisdale family, and then you talking about, well, it's just
I know him. I met him. I had a chance to meet him.
Well, I ain't never met him. I wasn't with you. I'm sure there are plenty of noise makers ain't never met him either. Jay, did you meet the Tisdales?
No, I have not.
Well,
I don't think this is the button worthy shit.
And that was a humble flex.
I'm just saying.
See, I don't think Kenny G and Bonnie James would be a good one, because I think you got to play the same instruments, don't you, to make it good?
No, just good music.
No, but you got to have some similarity. If it's a jazz versus, you need some similarity. You don't want to hear a bass player versus a pianist. That's not the same thing.
I agree.
But Bonnie James and Kenny G, they both blow, don't they?
I thought Bonnie James. I can't remember what Bonnie James does. I'm sorry.
He doesn't play no piano. He blows the.
Oh, that's right. He blows his sax. Yeah, he's a saxophonist.
Yeah.
So they need to be the same.
You know what I'm thinking of? When I thought about Bonnie James, I was thinking of what's the little curly haired dude? Not Kenny G, the other one. Dave Cos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Dave Cos. Mama knows you don't know jazz.
You right. I ain't gonna lie.
Stanley Turrentine, Kenny G, that could work.
Yeah,
that could work.
Yeah,
that could work.
Mm-hmm.
We need. I'm gonna suggest that to Swiss.
Because some jazz music could be some seriously funky, good, smooth.
That'd be a fun verses. That'd be a different kind of verses, and we would educate the crowd, because that's a music that was ours, and we've kind of just given it away like it was nothing. When truthfully, jazz is as essential to the Black experience as gospel and hip hop is. Like at the core of all R&B, hip hop, especially hip hop in the early days, they were sampling jazz tracks left and right. So it would be nice to have a jazz versus to educate the youngins.
I agree.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to go to his inbox and be like, hey, man, have you thought about a jazz versus?
I mean, if you've had, we remember the reggae that had Beanie Man and
Bounty Killer.
That was hot.
That was hot.
It was really good.
You know, I didn't understand a word them ninjas were saying.
Oh yeah, because they was all.
You know, I hear it.
You're just like, oh, okay, what he said. I don't know what he said.
I can't listen to music if I don't know what you're saying. I gotta understand what you're saying.
Oh, okay. So Jay is too cerebral to listen to reggae music.
I listen to reggae music, but the ones I listen to, I understand what they're saying.
Yeah.
So you don't listen to Bounty Killer?
No, I don't like all of that. Oh, boobity.
What about Mad Lion?
No.
What about Snoop when he was Snoop Lion?
I like lyrics.
Yeah, lyrics. You just didn't understand them.
You grunting is not a lyric.
It sounds like grunting to you because you have brittle ears.
Brittle.
They were saying something. You just didn't get it. How long will they kill our prophets?
That's music.
Why don't we just sit back and look?
While we stand aside and look. Don't miss a
thing.
Nope.
Okay.
Stand aside and look.
We'll finish the song, man. You know too much.
We got to fulfill the book.
We got to fulfill the book.
Hey.
Won't you hear this song?
Won't you help me sing? You don't stop putting up this
songs of freedom.
What are you doing?
These songs of freedom.
If you don't know it, don't try it.
It's all I
I want to try it, okay?
It's like
I'm
a
grown man.
Jamaican anthem, damn near.
Redemption.
It is. It truly is. Redemption songs. I just messed up a few lyrics. Over yourself.
Yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind.
Listen, just because you've been in a Jamaican don't mean you are Jamaican. I am Jamaican.
None of them can stop the time.
Are you gonna sing it or are you gonna quote it?
How long shall they kill our prophets while
we come on, preacher.
And look? Some say it's just a part of it. We got to fulfill the book.
The book.
Listen.
Talk about the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got it.
I remember cleaning my dorm room, listening to plenty of Bob Marley. Boy, they knew it was going down if I had a war playing. Everywhere there's war, bum 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 bum. The war.
I don't think
war in the east, war in the west. What?
I don't think the bum thing that you did that was
the bass. You gotta do the bass line. What?
I don't think you have to do it like that though. That didn't feel accurate.
That's the way I hear it.
What about Herbert Albert and Charles Earland? I like that. Oh, you know what we need to get before it's too late?
Who?
Herbie Hancock.
Is he jazz?
Are you being serious right now?
He did so much electronic, Bum, bum, bum,
Mama Noise. Hold on. Stop. Are you being serious right now? Are you being serious right now? You're joking about that, right?
I'm just saying. No, I was not joking. I take it that he's really.
What have I done? I'm clearly not raising you right.
Oh my gosh.
You don't know that Herbie Hancock is jazz?
It is truly a fact of life now. This just might be much for the church folks. So y'all might want to hum to yourself while I say this.
Oh man, I've blown it, man.
It is truly a fact. If the sex is real good,
what is happening?
We tend to ignore a lot of things.
We ignore a lot of things.
But as you get older, the sex kind of, fits where it fits. And then we start paying attention to the shit that didn't matter back when the sex was real good.
How did I let that slip through me?
Because we wasn't listening to nothing but gospel. That's why.
Mama Noise. I've listened to Herbie Hancock my entire life.
Not with me. With me, it was all gospel.
Mama Noise, I got news for you. When we were listening to Miles Davis, we were listening to Herbie Hancock. When we were listening to Wayne Shorter, we were listening to Herbie Hancock. He is the greatest, arguably the greatest pianist to ever be in jazz. Ever.
Okay, well, say it with your chest.
I just did.
Okay.
I'm
clearly not raising you right. I'm not raising you right.
I'm upset now because you ignored it back then. I mean, it is what it is.
You know what it is, Jay? She put it on me. I was distracted and I didn't see it. I missed it. You right, nigga. You right. You right. You right, nigga. You are correct, sir. In this, you are correct. Mama Noise, you do realize the Miles Davis was a quartet, I think it was the featured piano player in the Miles Davis quintet.
Wait a minute. The only thing you had me listen to was John Coltrane.
Well, that's not the only thing. You just didn't know the other stuff.
That and Wayman Tisdale. Those are the only ones that we was listening to.
That's not true. That's the ones you gravitated to.
Raymond Tisdale, Summer Breeze, make me feel fine.
What? You mean you didn't do the one with the pastor in there? Remember the Lloyd the
That's
song
on his album. Yes, I know what you're talking about.
when he said, "You know, Lord,
I'm gonna need a minute, okay? Because you have.
I don't know what your problem is.
I don't either.
I'm married to a woman who don't know that Herbie Hancock is one of the greatest musicians ever in the history of time.
I knew he was great. I just didn't know jazz was his genre.
Oh, every time you say it, it hurts. It hurts. It physically hurts.
I'm gonna need you to move on.
Okay.
You need some more good sex?
I do. That'll make it all better. It will make it better, Mama Noah. It is my fault, Chad. I'm owning it. I don't need you to remind me of that, Chad.
Apparently, you do.
Michelle, I'm sorry. This is not. Well, actually, it is. I don't want to lie to you, Michelle. I could lie to you, but I don't want to lie to you. We're a very honest podcast, so this is who we are.
Very open.
They coming up with some great jazz artists in the chat.
They really are. They really are. Ramsey Lewis. Well, he just passed. So
did he?
Yeah.
Oh no.
You don't know that Ramsey Lewis just passed. You know it's your frat brother.
Okay. No, I didn't. And no, I didn't know. I don't know why they put Stevie.
Ramsey Lewis is bad. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm getting Ramsey confused with somebody else.
Okay. Oh, she says she appreciates your honesty and transparency.
Oh, thank you, Michelle. You're so sweet.
Yeah, but sometimes we're a little bit too honest and transparent.
And you know all about that, don't you?
Ramsey didn't pass. Who am I thinking of that passed?
I was just gonna say you didn't put him on the pass list.
Who's the one from Fort Worth that passed?
Listen, what you need to stop doing is stop thinking out loud on this here podcast.
You think out loud all the time. Hush.
Together before you put it out.
You think out loud all the time. Sometimes you say
just talking as you think.
Who is it? Who am I thinking of?
As a versus with
there's a jazz pianist from Fort Worth that passed, I believe, last year.
Well, you should have just
COVID. Hold on.
You should have just Googled that because they would say, I'll tell you exactly who it is. I don't know who we'd have for a versus for Stevie Wonder because somebody said we need to rap Stevie Wonder and bubble rap.
There is no versus for Stevie Wonder. That is a waste of time.
I agree.
There's no verses that Stevie Wonder could be a part of.
Well, that's true.
That man got
Jesus. I disagree.
Who would be his verses?
Oh, really?
Who would be his verses?
What's that old man name?
That old man's name. Oh my gosh. What is happening?
You don't even know the old man's name.
How you gonna
He's an old man. That's all we know.
Ray Charles dead, Mr. Bell.
I figured he was gonna say Ray Charles, but I was just wondering if it.
Yeah, you can't do no, not Van Cliburn. Chad.
The one that sings that song In Between the Sheets. What's his name?
Al Green? I mean Ron Isley?
Isley, yeah.
No, not with Stevie Wonder. That's not even fair.
I don't think it's fair.
No. Clearly you understand
his whole catalog?
Yes. No, that's a terrible versus.
It's opinionated, but okay.
You trying to get Ron Isley whooped out in these streets.
What I ain't gonna do is sit up and debate something that's opinion. It's opinion.
There's no opinion there. You trying to embarrass Ron Isley, and I'm not gonna let you do it.
I forced the damn opinion, so obviously it is.
Listen, you trying to embarrass Ron Isley, and I'm not gonna let you do it.
Anyway.
No, don't be doing that to Zaddy Isley.
What are we supposed to be talking about on this here podcast today?
We're doing it right now. First of all, there is no viable Stevie Wonder versus. There is none. There's nobody you can put up against him.
It would have to be somebody who's already deceased, like Michael Jackson.
Right. The people that you would put up against him They're not here anymore. Prince, Michael Jackson. That would have been a good one. B.B. King versus Buddy Guy. Or maybe B.B. King versus ZZ Hill. Battle of the Alphabet.
Okay.
Yeah, Stevie, that's not fair. Why would you do that? Don't do that, Jane. I was trying to do stuff. I'm excited about tomorrow's show. I'll tell you that. I don't even know. I may have to change the title though. Like we will, because you sent some stuff in. We sent some stuff in, put it all together, and we came up with this. But I don't know if it encompasses everything. Though I'm sure we will encompass everything. But it's an interesting topic. Do we know what success looks like anymore? I like yesterday's conversation.
Man.
I did. I really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Black people, man, we be tripping.
You think so?
Yeah, we be kind of tripping a little bit. Like I watched the Versus last night. It was packed in that joint, and I'm like, man, y'all spend all this money to do this, and some of you ninjas probably ain't paid rent yet.
Stop it. That's too much.
I'm being honest though. I mean, where's the lie?
Are you trying to say we are the problem?
I mean, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, we get in our own way. That's for doggone sure.
You've obviously been listening to me too long because
my
come a long ways.
My synopsis of who the problem belongs to had nary influenced by your prowess, sir. See how I did that? See how I put those together?
That's not true.
Oh no, Jack Thriller last night was annoying. Jack Thriller last night was the annoying friend that comes along that thinks he's funny, but he ain't funny at all. He's just annoying. Shame on him for even being there last night. What do you mean that's not true? It is true.
Okay.
You think you influenced me, Lee?
Oh yeah.
If that's the case, I influenced you then.
Not at all.
So there.
Well, then I'm not gonna let you influence me if I don't influence you.
Oh my gosh.
Real quick, while I got everybody's attention. Tonight, Believe in the ACC, gonna be a great show. Don't miss it. Tomorrow morning, we got a very special show. LaFonso Ellis, but we different start time. Start time is gonna be at 9:40.
Mr. Noiz.
What?
You just said tonight, Believe in the ACC.
Okay, let's back up. Tonight, the Five, the Brothers of the Five are gonna be on tonight. We got a great show for that. Tomorrow morning, 9:40 Eastern, 8:40 Central. We changed the start time to accommodate our very special guest, LaFonso Ellis, who will be joining us. He's from College Game Day, and most of us know him from his basketball days at Notre Dame and the Denver Nuggets and other teams. So he's joining us tomorrow. It's gonna be a fun show.
Awesome.
Yeah, I just want to get that out.
I just want to make sure because you know the Five Nation is pretty.
It's growing by leaps and bounds.
I mean, listen, you like okay?
Strong following.
Yeah, they doing their own thing over there on their own YouTube channel.
Yeah. Okay, let me be clear about something as well. It is not Alfonso. Everybody thinks it's Alfonso. It's not. It's LaFonso Ellis. Everybody call that man Alfonso. That is not his name.
That is cultural. They're like
Alfonso Ellis.
They said they quit playing that boy named Alfonso.
You blaming everybody else, but you should be blaming his mama.
Why am I blaming his mama? His mama wanted to name him LaFonso.
She took the L and put it in reverse and said LaFonso.
Sometimes we name our kids and we're setting them up for a lifetime of having to spell their name every time they give it to somebody because, you know, you make it difficult.
Jay, should a mother be allowed to name her child whatever she wants to name? That's the real question.
Sure.
Okay, then we need to all get on board. If she want to name that baby Shantaka, then it's Shantaka. The rest of us just got to get on board with it. We might not like it, but it's Shantaka. Listen, somebody laid on a hospital bed and in the midst of anesthesia-based pain said, I'm going to name this boy Draymond Green.
Well.
That turned out okay, actually.
Draymond?
Yeah, thank you, Al. How you going to blame his mama? Just rude.
Well, no. I wasn't being rude. I was being factual based. Whoever it was that named him, you have to understand when you name your child, oftentimes you're setting them up for a lifetime of mispronunciation or to be, having to, you got people go through life right now. We as Black people will mispronounce your name every time we say it. And some Black people get really upset if you say their name the wrong way. That ain't our fault. Our tongue don't roll like that. We don't say that like this. And now you want me to say your name the way you want me to say it.
If your mama named you Jay and took the easy route, that don't mean the rest of us.
Everybody knows what I'm talking about. I'm not.
I disagree with what you're talking about.
No, you don't have to agree, but you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. I just don't think you're right, sir.
Some of these names are so difficult. Some of these names are so special.
A man has the right to name himself whatever he wants to do. And if a man wants to be called Muhammad Ali, God damn it, this is a free country, he should respect his wishes and name him Muhammad Ali.
Actually, his mama named him Cassius.
His mama named him Clay. I'm called Clay. Yeah, but he was going to have a.
His mama, like, I don't know where that Muhammad Ali came from. I named him Cassius.
His mama wasn't thinking of his best interest the whole time. Cassius? Ain't a lot of Cassiuses in the hood.
And it was in our hood since he's from Louisville, Kentucky.
But it don't matter, because whether it's Cassius or Muhammad, he has the right to be called what he wants to be called.
And I understand some of us try to make our kids individuals by giving them such a special name.
Right.
And I understand that. But forever and the rest of her life, every time somebody asks that little baby, what's your name? And she says North. Say, I didn't ask you for a direction. I said, what's your name?
See, that's wrong. That's wrong. You're right. But that's wrong.
I'm just saying, we set them up.
It's even worse than that, actually. It's even worse than that, actually, because her name is not North. Her name is Northwest. So it's even worse than that. She's not even a straight up and down direction. She's catacorner. She's not even straight up and down, which speaks a lot to the mentality of the family if you think about it.
Oh boy!
She's not straight up and down directional. She's in the middle, catacorner. Not quite there either way. Northwest.
Well,
what about Blue Ivy? Is that bad? Is Blue Ivy bad?
Oh yeah, it is.
Is it? I mean,
what's your name, Blue?
Blue Ivy Carter. Her name is Blue Ivy Carter.
Blue Ivy. So she gonna go around using her first and middle name for the rest of her life? My name is Blue Ivy.
She might, Blue Ivy.
I think the Blue Ivy's one word. I think that's her first name.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, Blue is her first name.
Oh, I thought Blue Ivy was her first name.
Is it the first name? Is the whole thing her first name?
I don't think her middle name is Ivy. I think her first name is Blue.
Her middle name is Ivy.
And the fact that the parents had the audacity to try to get the name trademarked. And Northwest, they tried to trademark that too. He even tried to trademark Chicago. And like, bruh, the city was there before you.
Okay, the baby's name is Blue Ivy Carter. Ivy is the middle name.
Is that what it say?
Yes. She has a brother and sister. Brother and sister. Sir.
Is his first name Sir?
His name is Sir. Sir Carter. And Rumi.
Okay. The problem with having Sir as the first name is that's what, that's, I guess they're getting that from like royalty overseas where the queen will dub somebody Sir this or Sir that, like they did your boy Paul McCartney, Sir Paul McCartney.
You could truly see the problem with that name.
Sir Carter?
Hey man, what's your name, sir?
Are you hard of hearing,
sir?
I think they named him Sir.
You can't hear me?
Right.
What's your name, sir? Fool, is you deaf?
Listen.
Exactly.
It could be worse.
Come on, man.
It could be worse.
Oh,
the other child's name is Apple.
Oh, yeah.
That child got to walk around as a fruit for the rest of her life.
Which child's name Apple?
Apple.
I forgot what famous. Oh, yeah. Is that the chick who got the vagina candles?
Yes.
And then for the Super Bowl commercial, she tried to eat it.
We got to clear that up. They're not vagina candles. They're candles that smell like vagina.
What?
That's what they are. That's what they are. I'm giving you an accurate. I'm with you, Steph. I ain't calling no grown man delicious.
How do you create a vagina smell
exactly
candle?
Apparently, she has mastered the technique and is doing quite well.
And she sat there on that commercial, Uber Eats, and took a bite out of the candle.
So, is the vagina clean or not?
Well,
that is actually a very good question. I don't really know how to answer that one.
Is this a fresh Massengill vagina? Is this?
Wow, you have dated yourself, sir, with Massengill.
I mean, the old references that come on this show from you is like astonishing. Look. The candle is, let me read it to you. Gwyneth Paltrow's company Goop, which this article says has been struggling a bit lately, sells the candle for $75, and it's called This Smells Like My Vagina. That's the name of the candle.
Danny Bell dating himself too.
So really, if you understand what I just said, she didn't create a candle that smells like all vaginas, just hers specifically.
What the?
That's what it says. This smells like my vagina. That's the name of the candle.
What is her name again? What's her name?
Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow is the name of the young lady.
So she thinks that her stuff is like petunias that need to be put in a candle. And then the fact that she ate it on Uber Eats commercial.
She ate what?
The candle. She took a bite out of the candle in the commercial.
So let me be clear, because some people are going to walk away from this conversation very confused. She believes in a lifestyle brand. She's created a lifestyle brand called Goop. And the whole premise is beauty and sexual health and all of those type of things. So she has several different candles. One is called This Smells Like My Vagina. The other one is called Hands Off My Vagina. And the other one is called This Smells Like My Orgasm. She believes in this particular brand of
She has a candle that smells like her orgasm.
That's what she said. That's what she's alleged.
Generally speaking, when you have perfumes and candles,
I
you
can't.
have scientists that's trying to reproduce or create the smell.
Well, that's what she's trying to do.
So who been smelling her?
I mean, listen.
Maybe, I don't think now. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to say she had him over for dinner or something.
How
And
do you
like,
reproduce it?
How do you?
Smell,
well, you can hand over some panties or something. Now she's got an interesting
panties.
Yeah. Like, here, take these panties to the house and just tell me what you think.
And make a candle out of it.
Now she divorced her husband. You know, her husband was Chris Martin from Coldplay. So she got a new candle that she just launched. This smells like my prenup.
See that? I think it's play on words. I think the candles ain't got nothing to do with
All a play on words.
There's nothing to do. The candle ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
See, I think I'm joking. Everybody on the road make me think this is a big joke right now.
Listen to me. I'm telling you, this is. I know everything's a moneymaker, but I saw. Now, I'm gonna tell you, brace yourself. I saw on YouTube a woman that sells her farts in a jar. And people be buying them.
See, there's the product right there. You can get that for $75 if you have the $75.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
There's the prenup one. And then there's the orgasm one. Just grab it and you can have it.
Just grab it. What?
You can have it to do whatever you need to do.
So these obviously don't smell anything like her vagina.
You don't know that. You've never smelled her vagina. You don't know.
Yeah, it can't. It can't.
You don't know that.
Well, now listen. I just tried to have the conversation with you, and you shut me down as to whether or not scientists are down there smelling her orgasms.
I didn't shut you down. What I said was, what I did is I offered an alternative. I offered
that which I haven't smelled. I must smell it.
I offered an alternative. I said maybe she's giving them like used panties, or
after
maybe
her orgasm.
Possibly, she hands them over and be like, "Here, take this and do what you will, and figure out if you can get the tonalities right."
You need to mute and moderate.
We are talking about
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow. Yes, that's Mrs. Iron Man. That's for those who are trying to figure out who Gwyneth Paltrow is. That the scent is WAP light when you want it. See? It's out there. Tar said that stuff is out there.
I told you.
What did you send me? Did you send me something, Danny? No.
I agree. Some WAP smell good.
The point was for the man to light the candle when he wants to be intimate.
Oh, y'all confusing me.
Maybe that's what these candles are. Maybe they don't necessarily smell like that, but they are a signal to the woman to say, "Hey."
Because I mean, anybody who's is married is not going to be lighting a candle called "My Prenup."
No, that seems inappropriate.
Well,
Danny, it didn't come through. Send it to my messenger. Send it to me on Messenger. It didn't come through my phone.
I think I get it. It's just a
You get it now? But why? But
yeah.
Scientists, listen, scientists are smart. They can figure stuff out.
No, they're not producing a candle that smells like her vagina. It's just
wait a minute. If now brace yourself. If LeBaron Burton can create 250
flavors,
why can't a candle?
They create candles that
smell it. I gotta smell it.
Cause they create candles. They might smell it. Maybe she's free and she don't mind them coming over and they having a full tutorial.
That's too
maybe she's spread eagle on the kitchen table, on the kitchen counter. Talking about, listen, y'all get the smell and then go out there and do what you need to do.
I don't want that in my mental Rolodex.
I don't think y'all giving this woman the credit that she deserves. She
Is
has
it credit?
She has a viable product.
Listen to me. When Jay bust out and said Massengill,
well, that's just him being old. Old Jay is old as hell. I'm not gonna hold it. This nigga is old.
Danny gonna say it smells like summer's eve.
They don't make Massengill anymore.
After doctors have declared that the Massengill products actually rinse out the bacteria that actually balances a woman's pH balance, they're like, you probably shouldn't do that. As much as, you know, your grandmama and them and your grandmama's grandma and them were all saying, girl, you better go out there and rinse yourself out.
Now, Danny said this to me. This was in the store he went to recently. So it can be done.
Ugh.
It can be done. You just gotta figure it out.
Mm-hmm. That's right, Soror.
That's an instant, cuz. That's an instant.
He said vinegar in a hot water bottle. That's when you couldn't afford the Massengill.
Because why are you doubting the premise and the prowess of our beauty and health industries?
That has nothing to do with beauty and health.
What do you mean? It's a beauty and health line.
No, I don't know if it has anything to do with.
Incense is not a beauty and health line.
Okay, the incense maybe not, but this is a beauty and health product. It just happens to carry a certain type of name.
That's not beauty and health.
Nothing.
It's literally on a beauty and health website.
It has nothing to do with beauty, nothing to do with health.
In your home.
Sexual health, people.
What are you supposed to do? Light it on yourself? And then what is it? How's it supposed to? What's it got to do with our health?
It promotes sexual health. You light the candle. It sets off an aroma that allows you to get into a nice.
It releases pheromones.
Like a pheromone, possibly. I don't know.
Get out of town.
I've never used the product, so I don't know.
That's perfume. That ain't.
It ain't no different than going to a candle store and getting candles to set a mood. What's the difference?
We need for you to light a candle that smells like vagina, so that our vagina, we got a problem.
Listen, was it not the prophet Teddy Pendergrass that said, "Turn off the lights, light a candle"?
Yeah, but he wasn't talking about releasing no pheromones from the candle.
You don't know what he was talking. Are you trying to tell me that Teddy Pendergrass, who asked the ladies to throw their panties on the stage, wouldn't have been pro vagina candle?
He was telling her to turn off the lights because she was modest back in those days.
Oh my God!
Look at that modesty,
all her goodies. But listen, we as humans already have the ability to attract each other sexually through smells. We don't need candles.
Listen, I'm not saying this is a product that I would buy. I don't need it. My wife's pheromones are plenty for me. However, there may be some who are the more of the depraved nation that need something extra, an enhancement, if you will.
In the words
maybe it's because we have gotten into this society, Western culture, where we believe in shaving our own hair.
What the?
What's wrong with that?
You do know hair is a part of
the pheromone,
right? It holds in the odor so that we can smell.
Really, it was a purpose for it.
But it also requires you to be having attention to that odor, so that it's pheromonic in response to a sexual situation, but not so much in a social setting. Did I say that well? Because we don't want to smell you when we're having cocktails, or when we're at the football game, or when you're just at work.
What's supposed to enhance that?
Well, I'm saying that's why people shave. That's why people shave it down.
No,
They don't want that.
I disagree. We have not always had the Brazilian.
No, I'm saying no. You don't disagree because I'm not saying something that's disagreeable. I'm saying I agree with you guys, but I think some of the reason why women do shave is because they don't want the trapping of the pheromone for long periods of time because they don't wash all the time.
But I beg your pardon?
They may not wash all the time.
Okay, let's be clear. It needs to be washed whether it's hair there or not.
I don't disagree with that, but I'm
saying that because the trapping of whatever is just a part of it.
Did you just sneeze, cuz?
Yes.
Are you okay? Hope he ain't got that cocoa. Hope he ain't got that cocoa 19.
He's fine.
Okay. Okay. I just heard him sneeze. I didn't know. Should we have said bless you?
Whatever.
Bless you, cuz, or gesundheit, or vagina tight, or whatever.
Wow. See, now Danny Bell says manscaping's a must.
Manscaping is a new thing. That's not a thing that's always been there.
Well, why ain't athletes going around with a bunch of razors?
They are.
For their man parts, like they
brothers are out here
since there's so much hair being trapped.
Brothers are out here shaving it up. They out here now. Women, apparently bushy is out.
Is it?
For a lot of people.
Okay.
Bushy is out. They don't want it.
Hey, well, you know what? If you're gonna start that trend, you better keep it going.
So all this pheromone stuff that Jay is talking about, they don't want it. People don't want it. They don't want a whole afro experience when they
whole afro
when things are unsheathed. They don't want a whole afro experience, or they don't want a 70s perm in that situation.
Wow.
You should be a little careful. Now, this is a dangerous statement, but I'm going to make it anyway.
Well, that's nothing new.
You should be a little careful of any man that wants a naked pussy.
What?
You should be very careful of any man that doesn't want any hair on your vagina.
I can't.
Your man should want you to look like a grown woman and not some newborn baby that's just been slapped on the ass. He should want to see a woman, not some little girl. Don't come in my bed with no naked poo-poo. I need to know that you're a grown ass woman.
Well, that
don't mean you can't shape it up and trim it up and make it look nice. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want no naked poo-poo.
See?
Oh my gosh.
This escalated quickly.
And see, right when he said that, Ron Nolan pulls up. You know what? See? You know what, D. Come on, D.
Wow. I didn't know you felt so strongly about it.
I'm gonna tell you something. When I was a little girl, I remember hearing some older ladies talking, and the older lady said that she puts a kitty perm.
She
puts a kitty perm down there so that the hair will be straight and fine.
What the hell is a wolf monkey?
I don't even know what that is either. I've never heard of a wolf monkey. Is that a thing? Let me look up wolf monkey so I can get an accurate assessment, because
I know
I never heard of that.
Stefan, it's all Cuz's fault.
That may be, there is a wolf monkey. That is the most Arkansas thing that's ever been said on this show.
We did have a guest. The guest was here this morning.
Yeah, you missed the guest. Who's late?
Stefan talking about what? I thought we had a guest.
we did, bro. You missed it, brother. You had to go back and watch that later. There is a wolf monkey. What you described is a wolf monkey, Jay.
A vagina with hair on it is called a wolf monkey?
I had no idea.
I've never heard that as description.
Clearly, that's
teach me. I'm willing to learn, Tara. Teach me.
Oh, he's pretty.
That's a wolf monkey.
He's cute.
Oh.
And actually, the full name is a wolf Mona monkey.
Stephon said we showing out for company.
I'm not, Stephon. I'm not. I'm actually trying to be a better man.
Company. What we talking about? Company. What are we talking about? This is a hip hop. This is a podcast.
James Bell. Yeah, bald is better, but he's not looking.
Hairy vagina is called a wolf monkey.
I've never in my life ever heard that.
53 years old. I've never heard of that.
I really feel like that's more of a Tara thing.
I've heard beautiful names, not that make the wolf, whatever. That doesn't sound very.
I'm willing to use the term now. I'm not.
No, I'm not.
Nope.
I use it.
Nope.
I'm not using it.
Don't do it.
I'm not using
Don't do it.
I got to
back away from the term.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a new one. So you guys don't think that there's something a little suspicious about a man that wants a bald vagina? No,
not the way culture has shifted. Because that's we are a copycat society. So when somebody says this is the better thing, then people will lean toward what's trending, and which I think a lot of that is
that it feels better naked.
I wouldn't say that.
I don't know. I'm a
even
woman, so I don't know anything about that part.
If you apply more pressure, you won't have.
What?
No.
What is happening right now?
I don't know what's happening.
I mean, I don't understand the need. Some men don't want it bald.
Hair or not is more presentation than it is performance. It's not
or preference.
Performance.
Some men want it naked for the. You think it? I don't know.
How does that affect performance?
Right. Well, I don't know.
I would say preference. Whoever you know.
But you wax.
I think they're saying not buck wild and unkept. That's what you don't want.
Right, but you don't want Scotch block. You don't want Scotch talking naked either.
Yeah, you don't want to go like through the forest. You like, oh my god.
Well, I don't mind. I don't mind a little dick. That's gold. Wherever you dig. I don't mind.
Oh my gosh! Listen, I can't.
Wow, Buff said he's a gorilla and he need to be in the joke. That definitely escalated quickly. I didn't see that coming.
That, David. I like that, David. I like that, David. I like that. That's real. Shit, hell.
I kind of like that too. I like the way he said it. I like the way he said it.
You know, one of my friends was from India, and she said that it's culture for them to go and have their whole body waxed.
Why gotta be so nasty about it?
Really?
Who wants to swallow hair? Why you gotta be so nasty about it?
Really? You are questioning the nastiness. You are right. You are questioning the nastiness of another individual. This is happening in real time.
If you don't know how to eat it without swallowing hair, something wrong.
I actually was thinking the same thing. I was like, I think you. No, I'm just saying, Mama Noise. It's too much.
It's too much.
I'm sorry. I'll just stop. But I was thinking what Jay was thinking.
If you can't engage in activities without swallowing hair, then something wrong.
Yeah, something might be wrong with the person, because that seems a little like off. Right, Tara, I'm with you on that. I can't believe of all people to make that statement.
I mean, listen.
Lord have mercy.
D-Bell. Okay.
This escalated. Wow. This escalated way to a different place. We were talking about the Lords earlier and burials. and this is the only podcast that can put the Lords and giving your life to Christ and eating vagina in the same show. There is no other podcast.
I'm going right now. I feel uncomfortable. Let's just move on.
Wow.
Wait a minute. Tara, you got cuz feeling uncomfortable? Wow.
God, somebody stop the
I'm actually about to give Tara a round of applause. Because I didn't think anybody could make cuz feel uncomfortable.
Listen.
This is definitely a grown folk podcast.
Grown folk.
Hold on, I need to make a correction to a statement I made earlier during the call to worship. Remember when I said you'd be safe with your kids today? I apologize.
You did say you're safe with your kids to listen to the podcast.
This is not. Turn it off. You listen to this later because you clearly your kids can't handle what we're talking about now. Okay. Wow, Stephon said he stands with Tara. Wow.
He likes the ball too. Huh?
Well, he said he don't want hair in his food.
Oh my gosh. Does anybody? Nobody wants it in their food.
But I do need garnish though. I don't know if I want.
Does anybody eat the garnish?
Well, that's not what the garnish is for. The garnish is there to add color and style and imagery and presentation to the meal.
I got you.
Nobody wants to listen. Nobody wants to eat a meal that is not appealing to the eye.
Well, that's true as well.
And so the garnish is designed to just give it a little,
entice
you a little bit, make you say this is gonna be a good meal right here.
And some meals you eat. For instance, I'm a huge lover of crab cakes.
Mm-hmm.
And every now and then, it reminds you that you're actually eating authentic, real, not that imitation bullshit crabs. If you have a little piece of crab shell in your crab cake, it lets you know that you are eating real crab.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I don't mind a piece of hair.
I cannot.
So
you know what? Now you want to go to.
Clearly, you've gotten over your uncomfortableness and refound your footing.
Well, Tara can keep going there. I could go there with her. That's all I was saying.
That's what you were trying to say?
My inbox is blowing up.
What is happening right now?
Folks is like, what is happening? What is happening?
I know, man. You gave such a beautiful testimony this morning and talked about the Lord and giving your life over to the Lord. And then it just, I don't know, it went left. It went You're right. We late.
Which drug?
I got caught up in the conversation. I apologize.
Oh my God.
No, Azaria said, wait. What the hell? That's what she said. I said, well, this is true.
This is a lot. This happened. I mean, this is a lot, boy. I tell you. Cuz why you leave the screen over? That's the question I have.
He wanted to get one of those tongue scrapers. Oh my gosh.
Tongue scrapers.
Uncorked wine in the afternoon. You right. You are absolutely right.
Oh, damn.
You were part of the problem, Mama Noise. You aided it on.
I did not aid it on.
Yes, you did. You were part of it.
I did not start with this black man below.
You egged him on.
No, I did not.
You stuck your hand out and said, I bet you won't hit Tara. He did.
No.
And then Tara, you put your hand out for Tara and said, I bet you won't hit back. And she did. Right. Tara's going back to work. Tara, good luck getting vagina out of your mind while you get this presentation. Just FYI. Just real weird presentation.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks for coming, Tara. I enjoyed the conversation.
How did we get from jazz to vagina? That was a weird transition.
I don't know. I think it was all Tara's fault.
What? It was all Tara's fault.
That very well could be true. I don't know. I'm trying to remember how we got here, though, because we were talking about jazz.
And we talked about the candles.
That's probably what got us there eventually.
The candles for sure got us there all the way.
About the smell, talk about it.
But I'm trying to figure out how we got from jazz to this. It was a weird transition.
Listen, all jokes aside, I say this from my heart now.
Oh Lord.
Oh gosh.
No seriously. We could joke all day. We got jokes. We joke and laugh and giggle and grin. But listen, the most beautiful, wonderful, marvelous thing that God made was the woman's body.
That is true.
And I cherish it like there is no other.
That is true. All of those things you say are true.
Period.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I am thankful every day I wake up next to Mama Noise and see that glorious.
All right.
I really do. I really appreciate it. It's a wonderful thing.
Nothing better. Nothing better.
Yeah.
Most beautiful.
Matter of fact, let's just have a moment of silence for the vagina. Hey.
Both of y'all hands with it. Oh my gosh.
It's beautiful. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think it's the number one reason why I don't understand.
Nope, don't do it.
I just don't. I don't get it. Listen, if you have had the experience,
it is by far.
It is. There is not. Listen, there is nothing upon the earth.
Can't understand it.
Listen, I've seen how.
Anyway,
listen to me. I've seen how they make chocolate and newspapers and cars and all types of stuff. There is no design upon the earth, none better than the vagina. None. It is a flawless design, and God should be given all the credit he so richly deserves. Most of my praise on a Sunday morning is for that.
Oh my gosh. Really?
Salvation and the vagina.
Most of my.
I split it between those two.
Really? You split it?
No, seriously.
I'm thankful.
No, seriously. I mean, I know we say a lot of jokes on here. We like to hear.
I'm not joking.
Go back and forth, but the body of a woman.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
The amazingness of it.
It's flawless. Can you think of one thing that's designed better than a woman?
Nope.
Just saying. It's amazing. That's truly when I knew God was a genius. I was like, oh, this is genius. This whole thing is genius.
The question is, do women know just how special their bodies are?
No.
That's the question.
No, because they think it's problematic with the whole period thing and the cramping and the whatnot. They think,
that is problematic. I don't know what you're talking about.
They were like, this could be better. And we're like, really?
That whole thing right there, you know, if I was to talk to God and say, yeah, if you'd asked me and many other women why we had to go through so much pain and suffering just to have the menstrual cycle, goodness gracious.
The miracles that take place within a woman's body, it couldn't have been put together any better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a noise. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna try to say it tactfully and out of the pure respect and love that I have for you.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember the first time you walked out and I saw you for the first time in all of your splendor.
Really?
Yes. And I remember like it was yesterday. And I remember saying to myself, my God, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Like, this is unbelievable. I couldn't believe that A, you looked as beautiful as you did, and that B, God allowed me to be in that room with you. It's that, listen, the design of a woman, this is real talk. We're having a real conversation right now. The design of a woman is flawless. It's flawless. There are no, I don't care. I know people are going to say, well, some women are too big. Some women, no, that you may have preferences in the design, but the overall design is flawless. You may like some designs better than others. It's like a car. Some people like Toyota, some people like Honda, some people like Escalade, some people like Tahoes, whatever. That's preference, whatever. But the overall design, the premise, the basic foundational premise is flawless. It is absolutely flawless. There's nothing better. You can't compare it to anything. You can't compare the experience to anything. There's nothing greater than a woman.
Wow. Well,
that's my humble
amen.
I'm just saying.
Thank you.
I'm just saying.
I don't, but to answer Jay's question, I would say no, most women do not realize. What happened, Jay? You had a hairball? Okay. You was coughing and stuff behind the thing. I didn't know what was going on.
We've corrupted her, Jay. I blame you for all of this. She was not like this before.
I don't think we know I don't think we understand how beautiful our bodies are because we're constantly being told that preference of someone else. And that's the reason why the plastic surgery industry is a $1 billion industry. Because as long as we keep on putting out there that like what was it? Tori Spelling. She didn't like the way she looked, so she changed herself to look virtually like Khloe Kardashian. Well, Khloe Kardashian had so many plastic surgeries that we don't even know what Khloe Kardashian even looked like. And then John Legend's wife, Chrissy Teigen, she had so many plastic surgeries that she looked like Khloe Kardashian. And it's like, oh my gosh, we don't realize that we're already beautiful. But because we're constantly being told, you need smaller thighs, you need thicker thighs, you need a camel toe, you need to have you need a lift, you need a butt lift, you need a breast lift, you need a tummy tuck, you need this, you need that. It's like, oh my gosh, would you even recognize yourself from beginning to somebody Googles you and says this was you before you had all that? Then they're like, wow, Nicki Minaj, when you look at her pictures of what she looked like before she had all that extra stuff, you like night and day. And you're like, okay, guess what? All that stuff don't hold up till you get to be older. So I hope you got a piggy bank store somewhere else to keep the lifting going, to keep keep lifting your breast, to keep tucking your tummy and all that, because all of it, gravity is not the friend. Gravity, like.
Let me tell you though, but even in the design, even when stuff starts to quote unquote go, it's still beautiful. It's still better than anything else you could experience. It's just a really, really well designed situation. Like it's pretty incredible.
I don't think we're told that enough. We're told more of that we need to correct it. We need corrections. It's like back in the day, we used to have to put correction fluid on white paper. When you're using a typewriter or correction tape, we're just being told that we need to correct so many flaws instead of accepting our beauty, instead of looking at it like they're flaws.
That's fair. That's very fair. I think we could do a better job.
But it helps if the men that we're with would not that they verbally out loud say, trying to compare, but when, as guys are constantly looking at different things of a woman that looks totally opposite than the woman you're with, then the woman you're with is like, well, man, maybe I'm not enough. We had the show back, like last week about being enough. Maybe I'm not enough if you got to keep looking at Persephone's titties. I mean, every time you turn around, you go, oh man, Persephone, man, she got this special bra size shipped in from Iceland or whatever. And it's like, okay, but most women that have breasts like that, guys are saying, man, she got too much. Okay, so if you got too much, you ain't got enough.
But I don't think you need. But hold on, I don't think you need to listen to all the guys. I just think you need to listen to your guy, and I think that's where we get in trouble. You do women want all the validation of all the guys, or do you want the validation from your guy?
You want the validation from your guy, but if your guy is all on the gram looking at somebody twerking with a bottle on her head and all this other stuff with the twerking content, you start to doubt yourself. You're saying, man, my knees don't allow me to get down and twerk like that, so maybe you're not looking at me the same way as you are old girl over here that's got a strong core. So then you say, man, I got a little pouch here, and I'm sorry I had it, but I got this pouch for having your babies.
I don't think driving past the car lot is the same as owning a vehicle and taking care of it.
Driving past.
Yeah.
That's what the guys do when they on Instagram and stuff.
It is driving past the car lot.
Ah.
We all drive past the car lot and say, oh, that's a nice looking car. That don't mean you won't buy it. It just means you drove past it and saw it. Go ahead, cuz.
Mama knows what you said is powerful. It's misguided, but it's powerful. So let me help you with it.
Help her.
Men love females' body.
That's true.
We love to look at the female's beauty, her body. It is impossible in my household for my wife to get naked in front of me and me not comment. I ease up to her. It's impossible.
You know it's impossible here too. Don't play.
It's impossible. I'm going to say something. I'm going to ease up, reach out and touch. Because I admire my wife's body, though her body has changed over the years, it's still the body that I love. So when you say men look at other women, it is not your job as a woman to keep up with other women. That's a fool's game. That's why the plastic surgery, that's why all the work is being done, because women are trying to keep up with what they believe is attractive to other men or to their man. It is your man's job to reassure you that you are enough. That's his job.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I look at women all the time. Tall, short, fat, wide, long, it don't matter. I look at women because I love the female's body. But my wife is assured that she is more than enough for me in our bedroom. Period.
Okay.
And then it goes deeper than that, that even though we are visually stimulated by bodies, I love you for much more than your body.
Right.
Okay.
So you have to understand your value is more than just your vagina, than just your hips. Your value is more than just your breasts.
Yeah.
Your value is more than just your ability to twerk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, twerk is just a skill set. That's not your value.
But he has to reinforce that belief in you. If he's not selling you that, then you will be insecure and believing that other women are the twerking girl with the ball on her head is what he really wants. If I got the twerking girl with the ball on her head, I can't think of her name. That's why I'm calling her that. If I got the girl with
Sierra.
Sierra. If I got Sierra, I couldn't do nothing with it.
Mama, no, do you feel that way? Like, or you don't feel that way? Or how do you feel? I know I'm
feel that way about what?
About the twerking girl with the bottle or whatever. Because if I apologize for ever making you feel like that. But I'm just curious.
I mean, I'm not trying to be the buzzkill.
Don't be. Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
But it does make me feel some kind of way. Like, okay, when you guys say, oh, it's a strong cord. You gotta have a strong cord. That's what I'm talking about. She got a strong cord. You going, okay, my cord was given.
It makes you feel that way specifically or in general? Specifically meaning our marriage, in general meaning just for all women as a whole.
Just in general, because I feel like that, you know, I gave my core up for 2 babies, you know. I remember when I had a strong core. Yeah.
You have a strong core. You're very blessed, Mama.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I got specific. I apologize.
Thank you, dear. But I'm saying that
my wife ain't got no damn core.
Mine does. It's amazing. She's got this one thing.
Anyway, Mr. Noise.
I'll just save it. I'll save it.
The point is that you're saying, man, you know, what you're looking at is either what I used to look like, or man, if I had, you know, I don't know if I had the resources, or if I didn't have the resources, would I or wouldn't I, or whatever. But you like, man, you know, I want to always be the eye candy for my husband. And I know that, you know, you guys are visual and you appreciate the woman's body and stuff. But, you know, if y'all just sitting somewhere going, you know, oh, she, you know, oh, this girl, she.
I'm gonna tell you, I agree with Danny Bell in this regard. You will believe partly of what you hear, but will you believe what you see over what you hear? I can tell you all day long how beautiful you are, and I do. I try to anyway, all the time. Girl, you look as good today as you've always looked. You look like you ain't even changed in my eyes. I think you're still beautiful. I think nothing has changed. You look more and more beautiful as the years have gone on. I can tell you all those things that are true to me. But if you see something that is different from what I say, then that's where the wrestling match comes. Do you mentally believe what you see or what you've heard? And that will dictate what you do. So for some people, they go get the plastic surgery, like Danny's wife. He says his wife got plastic surgery for her own self-happiness. And because she didn't feel like what she saw, regardless of what he said, she didn't see what she saw, that it matched up to what she wanted to feel is beautiful. Some people go get a little extra stuff done. I don't know if that's bad or good. I don't know. I'll just say this. I want you to be who you are and be comfortable in your own skin. That's what I want. Because I think you're beautiful as you are. You know, and then Stefan offers another counter argument, as Stefan would do. He said, don't y'all be looking at Michael B. Jordan or Idris Elba? And most men can't compete with that. So how's that any different?
Well, wait a minute.
He's saying the women that cruise on the Instagram for Michael B. Jordan's abs or Idris Elba's whatever, how is that any different?
But okay, I see what y'all looking at. I'm not those. I don't. Okay.
Most what she's trying to say is most women don't do that.
We're not. That's not what we're after.
To look right. Men are more visual than women. That's just a fact.
And I would slightly disagree in saying this. I think women do that, but not for the same reasons. They will look on Instagram for Michael B. Jordan and Idris Elba and whoever else. But when they look at that picture, they're not looking at that picture for his physical whatever. They're looking at that picture for what they feel like he is as a person. So when they look at a person, an image, they're looking at, I bet you Michael Jordan B. Jordan acts like this. I bet you Idris Elba acts like this. I bet, you see what I'm saying? So it's not the same thing. Now, some are lusting and be like, I'm the Mavs. I would love to have the Mavs or, whatever else he possesses. That's true as well. So Sean is also correct. There's some lies in that as well. But I would say the majority of women look to those images for the potential of what it is as opposed to what it visually is. Does that make sense?
Well, the point is, most women don't look.
No, I disagree with that.
There's a reason why Playboy and Hustler were so popular. Now, what was the females magazine that counted Playboy and Hustler?
Playgirl.
Playgirl. Or GQ. Or GQ.
Not nearly the circulation that Playboy and Hustler got.
No.
Playgirl didn't. Hold on. That's not true. Playgirl did not. I agree with that. GQ magazine did, because GQ sold the fantasy of what a man in totality is. So GQ talked about the way he looked, his handsomeness, but also his bank account, and also his job, and also his stability, which are all the things that women are looking for. And so I disagree with you, Stefan. The fat, sensitive dude did get some play. He just had to play it a different way. He couldn't come with I got abs and all that stuff. Right. If the fat, sensitive dude had gray sweatpants on, he got some play.
I don't know about that.
And if he had some money, listen, I saw some fat dudes pull some bad ones. And you'd be like, man, how this dude get this girl? Well, he got her because he had something in them gray sweatpants and something in his pocket in the gray sweatpants.
Okay.
Biggie said, and I quote, "Fat and ugly as ever, but I stayed coochie down to the socks." So I knew how to play what I knew how to utilize what I had and make it work for me.
Well,
and that's what and if you know, women love confidence. Women love a guy with a plan, with a successful plan, with a great mouthpiece. If your mouthpiece is right and you can talk your way into some, you can win.
That's true.
So it's a different approach.
So let me ask you a question.
We all looking. We all listen. Here's the reality. We all looking. We just might not be looking at the same things the same way.
So, to all the question came in about inbox was you know, a lot of women have tried to solicit those compliments from their husbands. What can these men that are here, since the men is a whole lot of men in the chat,
trying to solicit those questions from their husband?
Can they do better where their wives or, you know, girlfriends or whatever don't have to try to do that? What can they do, or what, you know? Because you guys are saying is beautiful.
I don't understand the question. Say it one more time.
What you guys are saying is beautiful.
Okay.
But there are some people that are like, man, my husband don't never say nothing about, you know.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
My body.
I got it.
It's usually got his face in his cell phone or he's on his computer, and you like, you know, man, what do I got to do to get him to appreciate my body?
I got you. Yeah, you want to go first?
Well, he has to first know that you value the compliments. Now, why the ninja don't know it, I don't quite understand.
Yeah, that's a little shocking to me right there too.
But he has to know that that's a part of your love language. You consider that to be important. Some men just don't know, or they don't want to know, or they don't want to have to do the work to know. It takes too much communication to me to find out what you really like. So I'm just going to go on through life and do what I do and provide how I provide, and that should be good enough. But I never really know what you value. So I have to learn what moves you. And if compliments or affirmations move you, then I should be handing them out all the time. Listen, fools, I say that with love and respect to all the men.
You didn't feel like it.
All women value affirmations and praise. She might not even know that she values it, or she might not even know how to show that she values it. She does. There are plenty of videos going around right now on Facebook. They pop up on my screen. I delete that shit. The guy walks past the woman and hits her on the ass when they first get married.
Right.
Oh, she giggle and grin. She likes it.
Right.
And he walks by her ass 5 years later and hits on the ass, and she may giggle or grin, but she likes it. 10 years later, he walks by, hits on the ass, and she asks him, "What the hell you do that for?" But if he misses walking by her, hitting her on the ass, basically acknowledging her beauty, acknowledging what she has, the gifts that God has given her, then she's ready to fight. She's upset. All women value it.
Let me just tell you, I'm being told to tell Cousin Noise that he is preaching. And you are to continue to preach, sir, because that's a preach word. Well, because you got to be paying attention to the signs. I was gonna at one point we will talk about it on I Still Do, but a lot of times we come into marriage making assumptions, and we never talk about, is that something you like? Do you like the way, when I touch you this way or that way? Do you like that? And I don't want you to say, like, "Oh, girl from Coming to America," or whatever you like. No, do you like that? Because sometimes we come in with our experience. You done been with other people. So then you like, okay, now I'm married. I'm just going to bring in all my head knowledge and assume that that's something that, my spouse would enjoy. No, you still have to have the conversation. Maybe they don't like, maybe all those years, the example you gave, all those years, she never did like the swat on the tail. Maybe she didn't like that. And so then after all those years, it finally comes to a head when she gets that age or whatever and says, "What did you do that for?" Well, I mean, okay, I did that because I thought that's something that you like. Okay. It's because you're not communicating. You're not telling her, or she's not telling you, "I don't like that." Or, guys, if you don't like, we call it the family jewels. You don't like the family jewels held a certain way or grabbed a certain way or
grabbing them, just
fondled a certain way.
You got to be careful.
If you don't say nothing, we don't have family jewels. So if we're grabbing them aggressively and you say, "Hey, pull back," just like we are about our breasts. Our breasts, we say, "Hey, pull back. These ain't jewels, but please believe they are sensitive as well." So all of that is all about communication. You say what you like, I say what I like, and don't be offended by it if you came into the relationship with all that previous experience trying to impress it upon your person, and they're going, "Okay, all that you doing, I don't like any of that."
I wanna offer not a counter, but just extension of what both these two astute individuals have offered here, because both of them have offered phenomenal advice. But I also want to offer this as well to the ladies. There's something that you had that made him want you. He was attracted to something you were doing. You the way you look, the way you talk, the way you this, the way you that, whatever. I would say, in the words of that a prophetic, anointed worship song by Ari Lennox called "Pressure," keep applying pressure. I don't think there's ever a time in our marriage that my wife doesn't apply pressure to me, and whether it's how she walks past me, how she, when she, she applies pressure. Zari got to get off because I got to say some things.
Zario, you might need to mute.
All right, log off, completely off. I need to say some things to the people. I got to help some people now. When she give you the green light, let me know. I think you gotta apply pressure on a man, especially if that's your husband. Because here's the reality. And because if I'm wrong, you feel free to jump in and tell me I'm wrong, as I know you will. But I think my wife is genius at. Is she gone? Is she gone? Okay. My wife is genius at applying pressure. So she'll walk out into the room and, throw that towel to the side and say, take this in. I got to listen. I many times, every time, if I'm being honest, I'll stop and be like, oh my, here it is. You bringing it. There it is. And so I think you gotta keep pushing the pressure buttons of your husband. So that's knowing his sexual love language.
Oh, now we're talking. So
you see what I'm saying?
We've never talked about your sexual love language.
Well, it doesn't get talked about enough because we always talk about love languages, but there's a sexual love language as well. And we all like what we like. So we got to push the envelope on those things and and find out why the response. And then if you're not getting a response, then now you got to deal with the problem because now there's a problem in the room. And I agree with everything Cuz said. If he ain't responding and he's not forthcoming with the compliments and with the affirmations and this, that, and the other, something is wrong. There's a disconnect somewhere because before you can get to the sexual love languages, you got to deal with the love languages. And so, and now I just discovered what my problem is with the thing. I just got it. My problem is its incompleteness. It points to a pharisaical thought process as if to say, if you can accomplish these 5 things, that's the simplistic, you'll have complete 100% across the board success. That's not true. That's not true because there are other things that are rooted in the minds and the evolution of relationships. For example, one of the reasons why your man may not be responding is because there may be something wrong with him. That thing don't get up like it used to. And so he's embarrassed by that.
And he's afraid he might not be able to finish.
Exactly. Because if you go, because y'all, we gonna have a real conversation. Let's have a real conversation. If you walk past him butt naked and it don't respond, and you reach down there and it don't respond, many of you ladies will feel a way about that. I don't get you excited no more.
Is it somebody else?
Right. And then now you in your head. I don't do it for you no more. So you got to go to pornography or you got to go to Instagram. And it may not be it at all. Mm-hmm. It may simply be a physical problem that he's having because as we get older, shit happens. So I think you got to apply the pressure. But I also think you got to have conversations and communicate and really talk about what is really truly taking place. Because if you don't, you're not really getting into the reality of the circumstances that you're really in. There's levels to this is what I'm basing.
And the having the conversation or knowing your spouse well enough to know when is the right time to have this type of conversation. Because
there's never really a right time. Sometimes you just gotta go have the conversation.
But I made the mistake when we were first married, boy. Like you
don't step in front of the game and turn the TV off. That was rude.
Well, but I'm saying I didn't know. I didn't know that there was a right and wrong way to approach you in talking about stuff like that of that nature. That's a private. A personal nature that I want to talk to you about, but I need to be sensitive about the timing. I don't want to hit you up as soon as you get home from work after you done dealt with the day, and then as soon as you come in the house, now I want to talk about, I want to know something. How come every time I walk past you, you don't get an erection? That's not a good way to have the conversation.
I agree.
Listen, Mr. Noise, let me deliver you.
Deliver me?
Seem like you're in bondage.
I ain't in no bondage. What's wrong with you?
That's the problem with people. They too ready before they know what the issue is.
I didn't hear a word you said. You started breaking up. Your internet won't let you be great right now.
That's the problem with people that they're too willing to throw up defensive posture because they don't want to address the issue. As soon as you say something wrong, ain't nothing wrong with me. Hold on. You don't even know what the problem is.
Okay.
You said yourself the reason why I have an issue with the 5 love languages, right? Right? Is that what you said?
Keep going. I'm gonna see where this is going before I respond.
Is that what you said, that you have a
problem?
problem?
No, I will not respond until you finish, because you sneaky nigga.
You have a problem with the 5. And the reason why you have a problem with the 5 is because it's not clear. It's not in totality. If I do these 5, I won't have any other problems.
That's one of my reasons. But yes, go, keep going.
So that to me is a fool's errands. Perfection does not exist. So I'm going to not do what I know could help. I will move us forward because I know we can't reach perfection. Perfection is not what we're going for in life. We're going for a complete, as close to wholeness as we can. And whatever your love language is, I need to learn it. Does that mean we're never going to have another argument? Does that mean we're never going to have another disagreement? And that means you're going to always be happy with me? No, but I still must do my part to make you as whole and as healthy as possible. I must learn your love language. I must learn what you care about.
My biggest challenge with you sometimes, you don't listen well, Ninja. Nobody said that wasn't the case. My problem is not that what you just said. My problem is that just like with every commercial, we're told that if you take this product, it cures all.
That's what I just goddamn it said.
That is not what you said.
All is not what we should be going for.
But that's not what people, you're not listening again. That's what people hear, Ninja. They don't hear we're going for doing the work.
I'm talking about people. I wanted to free your ass. Damn.
I've been free, Ninja. I've been free. You ain't helping me with shit. Let me just be very clear about that. I'm fine. I'm trying to help.
That you had a problem with the 5.
And I still do. And I still do. It's the presentation. It's the way it's marketed. It's not marketed as is this is going to help you and aid you in your process. It's marketed as Ayanla fix my life. This is going to fix your problems.
See, that's the fool games that I was trying to free you from. But I said yesterday that prayer can be used as a crutch. And it can be. For the things that I could do, I should do. But the things that I can't do, I should pray about. So Mama Noah should just pray.
What are you talking about?
Your ass need deliverance on this issue.
I'm fine with the issue, Nick.
You don't want to embrace the 5 love languages because you believe that it is marketed as the cure to all of our problems. No, that's not what it is. But that don't mean I can't do my work in order to make things better.
You don't listen well. You really don't. You like, this is what we're gonna do is have a show where we can work on your listening skills.
Am I still missing it?
You all listen because you get locked into your thought process and you don't hear the other side. I'm simply saying to you for the 9th time.
Okay.
I don't have a problem. My problem is not with the 5 love languages. My problem is the way we. What is nigga here? My problem is the way we receive it. We receive it as a cure, just like with anything else. Who is we? The society as a whole. It is.
We're talking about you.
Okay.
What's your problem with the love languages for your marriage, your situation? Not we. We ain't up in your house. You up in your damn house.
You're not listening, and you don't want to listen. Now you just want to be right, which is the stubbornness that don't make sense. I have no problem with the love languages for my house. In fact, I function in the love languages with my wife. I know my wife's love languages. My issue is I'm also smart enough to know that just functioning in my wife's love languages has not been the reason why our marriage is successful. And I'm telling you, a lot of people, most people use the love languages as the gospel and think if I just do these things, everything should be all right, which is not true.
And you know who these people are.
You see them all the time. You know what?
He said, "You know who these people are."
You know what? Because we got to wrap this show up. But there's a strong asshole-like quality that you bring to this show sometimes. That is really astonishing. I love it. It makes for wonderful podcasting because there's an authenticity and an honesty that goes along with you being an asshole. But make no mistake about it.
Mama knows. Am I an asshole?
Of course.
That's a dangerous question.
I
You
mean,
never ask a question if you don't know the answer.
Let me say this. I think we all are, which why the podcast is so good.
Mama knows. Am I an asshole?
Of course.
Mama
knows. Just tell them the truth.
Was I correct in my conversation with your esteemed husband?
Okay, but you said if you know the answer to that, be careful with the question.
You should, right. So,
You should
Mama knows, am I an asshole, or was I correct in my conversation with your esteemed husband?
You know, win.
Oh my goodness.
That's what I'm saying.
We're already out to.
That's what I'm saying.
Thank you, Noise Becky. We appreciate y'all.
I'll answer that question.
Noise Becky, keep it 100. But it's okay. And listen, it's okay that you are. I like it. I enjoy it. I enjoy the back and forth. But let's not deceive ourselves. Come on. But I think I am as well at times. I absolutely think I am at times.
This one thing I like about a podcast and the conversation, the daily conversations, is you have to cut to the truth.
We got to cut to what we think is the truth. Yes.
We can't dance around the issues. We can't, because we're not solving problems doing that.
Yeah.
So the truth is a slap in your face. The truth cuts. The truth is real.
Yeah.
And the only way we grow as people. Listen, I can't keep telling my wife, honey, you know, you just a little bit too thick. At some point, I gotta tell that heifer she fat.
No, you don't.
I don't know if you gotta do that. That just feels wrong.
No, what did the boys say? Not the boys, the men say.
So you're gonna ignore her love language and go to fat. That's what you're
talking about. Thicker than cold peanut butter, something like that.
Wait a minute, Mama doing. So you just gonna ignore her love language and go straight to fat. That's what you're doing, right? You just damn her love language. Fat is what you're saying. Apparently, you have a problem with the love languages yourself.
I ain't got no problem with it.
I have a problem with it either.
That don't sound anything like that. I love a woman's body speech you said earlier.
I listen. Hey, man, Lord have mercy.
That sounds a little contradictory.
Yeah,
I absolutely love a woman's body.
Well, you ain't say that a few minutes ago. Talking about I need to tell her that she fat.
But what I can't have is you up in my bed making it lean to one side because you put on so much weight.
She can make it lean all she wants. You know what? You know why she can make it lean?
Not my bed, you can't. Not my bed.
Yes, she can. And you know why she can? Because 2 reasons. She giving you that cocoa, that guac 3000, make you go, and she putting it on you with that WAP. So as long as she do those 2 things, she's fine.
You know, I don't know if the listeners know or not, but I have put on some weight during COVID, and I got to get this weight off of me. But I often wonder to myself, I say, self, you know, don't respond. I say, how do 2 fat ass people lay up in the bed and call themselves making love?
Because it is to them.
Slowly.
Slowly and methodically. Yes.
Oh my goodness. Woo!
The most. Absolutely the most.
We gotta go. We paid that. First of all,
so sad.
Shout out to Cuz for that that pitch right down the middle. I saw it coming a mile away. Clearly that was a 3-2 count. I was able to hit it right out the park, and I appreciate you, my brother. That was okay.
Oh gosh.
Whew. This is what y'all signed up for. Y'all signed up for this show as a full-on, all-inclusive, full-on comprehensive podcast.
Correct.
And that's what we try to deliver each day.
Correct.
So this is what you get. This is
don't come up in here tiptoeing because we're not gonna tiptoe.
we're not tiptoeing. Thank y'all for the stars today.
Yeah.
Did we unstick
I need to say
Stefan? Because Stefan was asking about the stars. Did we get him right on his
Stefan was able to send his
stars in? Awesome.
Send his stars. So he got it. And,
Thank you all for the stars.
And our beloved co-host, Albie Sure, was able to send us a 200 stars.
Amen. Thank you for the stars.
We miss you, Albie.
We miss you, Albie.
I miss you, Albie.
Lies. All lies. Total and complete lies.
Especially when your deacon popped through right on time. He started talking about.
He said, "How did you?" I may pull that quote at the end of the show, and that might be the advertising for the bar show. How do I?
Nope.
Fat people.
Nope. That will not be.
Take your time.
You think that's too much, Mama Noise? It's too much.
I think it's excessive.
Do you think it's excessive?
Yep.
You thought, wait a minute, you've been on this podcast for 2 years now. You thought that was excessive out of all the things?
The topic? Absolutely.
Why is it going to be a topic? I'm just saying we just put it as an advertising book.
Well, okay.
Okay, all right.
I mean, I still have yet to see Sweaty Titty Bunny. So
I ain't say we ain't there yet. We got to find a shirt company. We still looking for the right shirt company. We're going to get it, Mama Noise. It's a journey. It's a journey. Okay. All right. The 5 tonight, 7 p.m., 6 p.m. Eastern. Believe in the ACC, first thing in the morning, 9:40 Eastern, 8:40 Central. That's going to be a great show. And then we're going to get back into the intensity tomorrow, man. We got a lot to talk about. So don't miss none of it. That's Mama Noise over there looking amazing. That's Cuz Noise with all his chocolatey goodness and deliciousness that I know all the ladies love on this podcast. And I just try to drive the chain high on love and emotion. Appreciate all the noisemakers for pulling up. And I'm going to give y'all a good old-fashioned church benediction. May the Lord watch between me and thee while we are absent one from another, till we meet again. God bless you and amen.
We talk